welcome back everyone, welcome back to another weekend edition here of the PiGosaur Cup, PiGosaur Cup number 84 PTR edition. I'm of course just VIP with you and joined by these amazing players and by the people in the chat as well. Welcome one and all. Welcome to something a little bit different here. Welcome to our second broadcast featuring the PTR. Of course, if you missed out last night, we were live with the public test realm with the Sparkling Tuna Cup. It was the first open cup to feature the PTR. We have that title, but we got it. We were the first, and now here is the second with a PiGosaur Cup. Let's go, baby, let's go. We are here, we are live with the second PTR event. Again, the tournament is open to all players, and we do have our final bracket. Let's catch up on the bracket itself. Let us switch our scenes over and exclamation mark be in the chat if you guys want to have a look back at yourselves. Here we go. Okay, from the top, we do have ByuN. ByuN just takes down Pi 2-0. ByuN waiting for the winner of Pig and Homono. I believe they're mid-series. I believe Pig is streaming his POV. Meanwhile, Strange takes down Camo. Nickrak takes down Patches. We have Strange versus Nickrak in the next round. We have Solar versus Matt. That is our current series, by the way. We are jumping in mid-series. We also have Mixu. Mixu takes down Yo-Yo. Ooh, walkover win, my apologies. But Mixu, he is waiting for the winner of Solar and Matt. Bear that in mind as well as we are jumping straight into our series. Let's go. Spawning in the top left hand corner as soon as there we go. Spawning in the top left hand corner of Title Sigil, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg. It is Solar. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the French Zerg player. The red Zerg. It is Matt. And if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck. Oh boy, as the PTR is, I want to say 6 days old, still under a week as we do go for a very early 10 pool. Okay, so early pool timing here out of Matt, 10 pool timing. Meanwhile, we do see gas pool out of Solar, hyper early gas, hyper early pool. Now there's a bit of difference here. So Matt with the early pool timing has early links, early queen production. That is true, slightly earlier than Solar, but with the earlier gas is being taken out of Solar. I think this was a 10-9. I'd have to double check, but it might have been just an 8. It wasn't an 8-7. No, I think we drew it up a little bit first. I think towards 10-9, but regardless, because of the earlier gas income here, that means link speed and potentially even a Bane bust as well. We'll see when Solar pulls out of gas. Regardless, hyper aggression out of our blue Zerg player. This is one of the big features, of course, of the new PTR, is the fact that with the lower drone counts, you can commit into earlier tech in such a way, especially in ZVZ. And here we go, pulls out of gas, only link speed is being researched. We're going for an early link flood. Meanwhile, Matt is going to have later gas, later link speed, later tech to defend. It's going to be a bit of a more difficult defense here for Matt. Not impossible, bearing in mind he does have that queen. Like that queen is going to be a big essential part of the defense, and we'll see if it's going to be enough to defend. Let's go. As of now, link production. We cut workers at 11 drones here for Solar, 10 drones for Matt. Both players are amassing up Zerglings. Remember, Solar does have that link speed advantage. We're checking the vision here. Matt did not drone, no one drone scouted, of course. We're just relying on the overlords, and Solar, he will skirt around the edge. He does skirt around the edge of the map. The overlords, they will see nothing. They see nothing. They know nothing. Solar, he just sucks it in, hugs the edge of the map, gets across the map as well, and we do need to get rid of the tuna. That's from last night. The tuna, papi. Yeah. Oh, he does get scouted. Matt, he will engage ahead of time and does nibble away at the links. Not a bad start, but remember, there is going to be that link speed timing. Matt with the open face and Solar with the XD. But little does Matt know. Little does he know here, as Matt, he is about to be caught out. He's about to be caught. Here we go. Links are amassing, and link speed. Show us what you got. A couple of seconds. Go. Does kick in. Yeah, link speed does kick in. Now Matt, he has to get the hell out of here. He cannot escape. He has to turn and fight. Oof. And Matt's gonna lose everything. Matt, he should lose everything here. Slowly pulls away, engages once again, cleans up every single Zergling, and with that, Matt, he is in trouble. Link speed is going to finish up in a couple of seconds from Matt. He's still a ways away. Behind this, Bailey Nest gets run down for Solar, pulls back into gas, goes to the Bailey Nest into Ling Bane, and again, Matt purely has Ling Queen to defend. Now, for the time being here, he is able to get into link speed himself, but this was a rough start for Matt so far. Ling's try to bypass the army. Matt's keeping up. He's keeping up. Drones are neck and neck. Again, that tech lead is still in the advantage, or still in favor of Solar. Still has the tech. Solar does try to pivot away. Once again, it's just buying time. Like Solar, there's no reason to fight for Solar. He just has to buy time for Banelings. Speaking of, the first Baneling is morphing in back at home. Okay, so defensive Baneling, and ooh, cheeky moves here. Solar, he does morph in 2 more. Yeah, 2 more Banelings. Back at home, Banelings are revealed. Ah, Matt knows. Yeah, Matt, now he knows, and Matt is going to try to bust up that rare, but at the same time, back at home, there's not much to defend. Again, there's only the 1 queen. Just the 1. Solar can't waste his Banelings. Yeah, he cannot waste them. He has to pull back to his own queen. Ooh, Solar, he doesn't engage. Oh no, getting caught out. Yeah, he does get caught out. Solar, he commits something. He's going to be committing across the map. Does move in. Hold on to the Banelings. And there's nothing to defend. There's nothing here. The Lings, the drones, they should all be shut down. Banelings, they roll in. We don't want to waste them. And he won't. Oof. Yeah, Queen goes down. Every drone goes down as well. At the same time across the map, we have Banelings morphing in. Do they finish? Oh no! They do! Oh my god, just barely. I mean, even without them, Solar, he defends, Solar attacks, there's nothing left. GG gets caught, and Solar, he will claim the series 2-0, advancing on to the next round. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A very chaotic game. Very, very chaotic. They're both animals, Pap. Yeah. But it will claim the series, will advance on. Again, GG, well played, as Matt did put up a fight, of course, going for his own cheeky and quirky build. But with that, GG. With that, GG, well played. Let me quickly remove the tuna, of course. Un momento. Got you covered. Beautiful. As we are now going to be following our players into the next round here. Up next is going to be Solar versus Mixu. Ooh, we have a choice to make here. I mean, Solar versus Mixu is going to be more competitive. The other matchup that just now opened up for us is Percival versus ByuN. Part of me wants to avoid mirror matchups. At the same time, I can see Mixu versus Solar being a really fast series again. Like, I can see it being a quick one. So I guess we'll commit, or do we switch over? What do we want? Do we want a mirror matchup? It's gonna be a clan fiesta once again between Solar and you know what? Let's give Bully some love. Where ¿Dónde está mi Bully? ¿Dónde está? What's he called in game? What's? Ay. Okay, beautiful. Sorry, just messing with my invite. Sorry, messing with my settings a little bit. But here we go. So we do have our players getting ready here, and I'll jump into whatever's available first. Percival versus ByuN or Solar versus Mixu. Both have their own value, of course, when it comes to what's going to be coming up next. But when it comes to the PTR itself here, I guess we should also mention that when it comes to the PTR, a lot of changes have been made. Of course, there's been a lot of discussion about potentially some oversights or the goal of the PTR, proposed additional changes as well. It is very good that there's a lot of discussion going on about that. I guess we'll be discussing a little bit more in depth tonight. Later on tonight, we do have the podcast, and then we can go a little bit more into it. We'll be getting a little bit more into some of the details as to, you know, the proposed changes and the feedback that has been provided. One of the downsides, of course, of casting all the time, and we do cast twice a day every day, is that I haven't really had much time to delve into the PTR myself when it comes to playing games on the PTR and really like embracing and submerging myself in, you know, the public test realm and everything that's been going on. But other people have, right? Shout out to Lorimbo. He had a very in-depth write-up regarding larva and early aggression when it comes to certain matchups. We have players like Euthermal and Hearthstone who are also putting in a lot of games to grind, to test things out as well. Pig, of course, notoriously has also been playing a lot, has also been grinding a lot, and also been theory crafting quite a bit as well. They've all been putting in the work in the PTR, and now we're kind of hearing the fruits of that labor come out over the last like day or so, or a couple of days even. So that's slowly been like coming out and surfacing, I should say. And hopefully we're able to, you know, take from that, able to learn from that, able to potentially propose other changes, and then get an update to the PTR. That is the hope, at least. Typically for the PTR, we do want changes over time. I think last time there wasn't. I think last time there were changes made to the PTR, but it was the PTR made a bunch of tests, proposed a bunch of changes, and then when it went live, bam, it changed a bunch of stuff. Looks like feedback was received, but like went live without testing any of it, which I'm hoping that doesn't happen this time. That is the main big concern, of course. So hopefully that does not happen. Oh no. Okay. Well, Myoja's arrived. I was like, Papi, how much soju have you had? Myoja. I think we raided him yesterday, and he was having a bit of a ranting, drinking stream. It was it was an experience, Pat. It was an experience. Myoja. Alright. We're going to be cutting to a short break, and when we come back, we'll have our next series. We'll have Myoja versus Percival. We'll see you soon. We'll see you soon after the break. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to the PiGosaur Cup number 84 PTR quarterfinals. We're jumping into our second series of the broadcast. We're jumping into a TVP and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the red Terran. It is Percival. I'll fix up the intro, don't you worry. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the orange Protoss player, the American Protoss. It is Myoja. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as well into our initial TVP. Coming into this, Percival is favored for sure, but Myoja, he has been on that grind, Papi. He's been grinding. He's been testing changes on the PTR. He's been smurging on the ladder, Papi. Taking shots every ladder session. Yes, they bought Myoja. But here we go. We're here. We are live. We are jumping into our series, and for the next set of intros, they should be fixed. By the way, should be fixed up. they were just set to the previous series. But here we go. So jumping into this, we do have our initial TVP. When it comes to changes to Protoss, of course, the big ones are the production, the macro changes to the gateways, to the warp gate as well. As a result, it is going to be more difficult to be active and aggressive early on in a game. We saw that occur in PvZ last night, where Protoss players were incentivized to just turtle up and to be more defensive and not be active with the depths, not be active with gateway units, and have a more robust kind of mid-game and a slower kind of mid-game. We'll see how ByuN changes things up, because that is a 2-gate opener, and remember, we can start warp gate on gateways. You don't need that cyber core necessarily. We'll see what the plan is going to be. Regardless, 2-gate opener is a very aggressive way to open up. Meanwhile, Percival going for his own Rax expand. Marine first, doesn't waste any gas here on a Reaper. We're expecting a CC, yep, on the low ground, so economic opener here by Percival. Meanwhile, ByuN with the 2-gate opener can also reinforce across the map with double adept as well. The purpose of that second gateway is to be hyper aggressive early on, to warp in extra units, adepts, stalkers to move out. Oh, and that is an early tech lab. Okay, so Rax expand Marine first into tech lab into Marauder. So this is designed to punish early aggression. And we're getting early aggression, by the way. We are making 2 stalkers at a time, and we'll see if we can overwhelm the amount of marauders that there are going to be. Because marauders, they're built to bring down stalkers early on, especially. They're built to shut them down, built to catch them. But we are going to have an excess amount of stalkers than we're used to seeing. We're getting 2, and then we have another set behind this as well. We'll see what ByuN can achieve. As he is waddling across the map, welcome to Ruby Rock, a shorter rush distance, of course. So move our way halfway across. First Marauder is out, the Marine as well. Second Marauder's on the way, no concussive shell yet. And Percival behind this going for a second, and now I'd imagine a third rack. So it looks like a 3-rack follow-up, 3-rack stim. Does get the first shot off. And he wants that Stalker. Again, no concussive shell. Marine does fall. Nice movement here, nice shuffling out of ByuN. Shuffles back his units. Second Marauder has arrived. Ooh, and we do try to catch out the Stalker. Nice pick up here by ByuN. Goes to the recall. He gets out. Technically better trade. It's a kind of. Kills 1 Marauder and a Marine and doesn't lose a single unit. ByuN does race back home. Did cost him a recall, which means we're going to be lacking a chrono boost. So in that sense, damage was dealt to ByuN as well. But more importantly, ByuN is now playing blind. Unfortunately, ByuN never scouted the main base. He doesn't know what's coming. He doesn't know that it is going to be a 3x stim timing. It's going to be hyper aggression out of Percival, and ByuN is playing blind. At least so far. Oh. Does catch 1 once again. Nice control here by ByuN. He does pull away the weakened stalkers. He does take down, does catch 2 Marauders. Very nice. ByuN, calm down. Catching up 2 Marauders. Now moving in. Takes over the low ground, it denies mining, does force a bunker. And remember, we're 1 base all in. Bear that in mind. It's like, this is a good damage. You might be thinking, oh, right, he's getting ahead. Well, there's no expansion behind this, right? Like, ByuN is completely all in. He's just rallying across the map, whirling across the map, even with purely 4-gate Stalker. Not even Blink, by the way, just 4-gate vanilla Stalker. The boy's being pulled. Percival, he's only got 1 Marauder. And he gets focused down. Oh no, what a mess. Does fall. Oh, will cost 2 Stalkers there. The cost of 2 Stalkers does claim the Marauder. Marines being bullied back. There's some heavy losses here for ByuN. Another Marauder has arrived. ByuN playing it safe. Ideally, he wants to try to bait the army out. Gets a Marine. Oh, goes to the Marauder. Yeah, Marauder is almost going to go down. Barely survived. Second Marauder has made it. Up to 2. Yeah, up to 2 Marauders. Nice PiGosaur here. Does take them both down. And ByuN, he's doing it. He's just overwhelming Percival. Every Marine should fall. Stim is not done. Yeah, Stim finishes, but there are just too many Stalkers. And the 4-gate Stalker, papi. ByuN, he's crazy. Oh my god. He's out of this world. GG. That's ByuN. He overwhelms. And we'll take game number 1. GG. Bully. GG, well played. ByuN with the 4-gate. Hold on, I gotta... Let's go. GG, well played. ByuN, he does overwhelm, he does break through, and he will take down, oh, he will claim the first game, causing a bit of an upset here. What do we have for game 2? What do we... What do we have for game 2? I'm like, ay, 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 papi, fly to Korea. No mames, orale. Bobby Ocha. GG, well played. Again, going for the one base all in, going for the 4-gate vanilla stalker. With that, was able to overwhelm Percival. Was fortunate that Percival, he never got a bunker up and running on the low ground. He never teched up in towards factory and towards tank production, for example. Purely bio, purely marine into marauder. And again, marauders were going down from the beginning, early on. As we are setting up the lobby. I think we are switching servers. Oh, good. Okay, we're gonna be loading in. 14-3. So just catching up with the chat. Let's go. So getting into this morning in the top left hand corner of Mothership, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran down in the series. Can he bounce back and make a series out of this? It is Percival. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the orange Protoss player. We have the American Protoss leading the series 1-0. It is ByuN. Let's go. Let's go. 14-13. Let's go. Yeah, ByuN, he's cracked, baby. He's crazy. He's crazy. Oh my god. If only he was in Korea. A GSL competitor. ByuN. As Percival, it's his turn. It's going to be his turn here as the SCV does head straight to the center of the map. But remember, this is a Mothership, a 3-player spawn map. You can spawn in top right, bottom side, or top left, and we are going for the proxy. So Percival is going to be the aggressor this time. He's going to be putting, ideally, ByuN on the back foot. And we'll see how ByuN will adjust his opener of choice. Remember, last game it was a 1-base, 4-gate all-in. But this time we do have the aggression, or now he's going to be on the back foot. Now the turns have tabled. Let's go. Now, bearing in mind there's only one SCV, there's no second SCV being sent out for a second rack, so not the most committed proxy, I would imagine. We'll see if we actually go to scout with the SCV or commit into something greater. Same opener, 2-gate. 2-gate opener here by ByuN. Once again, going to be opening up with a faster Cybercore into 1-base play, into an early Stalker aggression. And this is going to be scary. So I'm envisioning a world here where we're going proxy marauder. Let's go. Is going proxy marauder. Now I'm envisioning a world where ByuN, now thankfully Percival will scout immediately, but ByuN once again is going to have an overwhelming amount of stalkers with good enough control. I do favor him against this kind of opener here. He's going to have an excess amount of units here to deal with this army, to deal with the marauders. SCV scout does confirm the opener, does confirm the 2-gate. We'll see. Now Percival, he's at least aware, right? He knows what's coming. He's aware of the production. And we'll see how he responds. We shall see. I feel like, so, because of the 2-gate opener, Percival, he should know that the Stalkers are going to be coming to him, right? Stalkers are going to be moving out. So, ideally, you'd want to bank up your units. And yeah, he's rallying back home. He's rallying back home with his Marauders. And this means that his production is going to be exposed. That's my big concern here. He's staying on top of the ramp. Okay, the hope is he can catch the units here and get the first couple of shots off by having that high ground advantage. Factory behind this, late CC, true. Remember last game it was racks expand, here racks in the factory. ByuN sets up the proxy gateway, the proxy pylon I should say. And he will find Percival. Now, he will see the factory being built. Bear that in mind, so he knows that the Rax is elsewhere. Yep, there we go. Does get the factory. He should know that the Rax is somewhere else on the map. Marauders, they move in. And we already have 4 Stalkers back at home. It comes down to the micro. Marauders are revealed. Pylons under fire. You see ByuN is way on top of the ramp. He wants that first shot. Almost supply blocks. Ooh. Yeah, it does go for the boys are being pulled. He trades 1 for 1. Just trade 1-1, getting a second Marauder. Better trade here for ByuN. Catching out 2 Marauders. Still trying to reinforce. Going for, oh good. Going for 1 base DTs. He was going for 1 base Twilight Council. Okay. Now, going Dark Templar in this matchup obviously is very risky. It's very difficult to pull off just because you have to rely on your opponent muling, you have to rely on their Ravens either. If scans are available, then DTs can be dealt with. Percival is racing back home and he's expanding. He's getting a CC up and running. It's a clown fiesta, baby. It's a fiesta. Without Blink, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to catch out the initial medevac. Medevac is moving in. Again, Percival, he's not aware of the tech of choice. Does find the pylon. Does find the pylon. Warp gate is on the way to warping across the map. And who catches who? Darshan is done. Show us the DTs. Show us the Templar. Everybody's taking a lot of hits, a lot of damage. Ooh, ByuN, he may just cancel. ByuN, what's the plan? We have warp-ins. Okay, now warping in DTs across the map. He had to wait for his warp case to warp in, of course. There's a cancel. Lose the pylon. Army force to engage. DTs are waddling in, but the door is closed, and there is a Raven on the way as well. There is no scan, but there is a Raven. Oh, he scans! He spends a scan across the map, but the Raven pops out just in time, and with that, we have a permanent detection. DTs, they do nothing. They get completely shut down, and now we have a CC on the way. CC is already done at this point for ByuN. We spoke about this, but it's so difficult to make DTs work in PvT. It's such a big risk, such a big gamble, and it was not worth it. Not worth it. Percival will boost in, diving into the mineral line, catching our probes. Again, cheeky build here by ByuN, very cheeky, but was seen, scouted, was shut down. 9 shots going off, 5 probe kills. Five probes. And now Percival just getting further ahead. He's building up into 2 base saturation. Stiffness on the way. Combat shields building up our buyer setup. Everything's coming up Percival. ByuN working towards charge. I mean, we can try to go for a 2 base all in, I suppose. But it's just a very rough positioning for ByuN. The longer this goes on, the better it is for Percival. The pressure is on ByuN to find some counter damage of some kind. But there's no Robo, there's no War Prism for reinforcing across the map, for like Archon drops, for example. There's not too much available here for ByuN to recover in this game. At this stage, the one chance he has is maybe Percival is passive. If he's passive, if he leaves him alone and ByuN gets a 3rd up and running, is able to build up into the mid game, then maybe. But even then, like, it's a rough start. Does put the drop. Main army on left hand side. ByuN, he responds to the drop. But remember, there's a second army. There's just so much supply here for Percival. It's just a numbers game at this point. Percival boosts in. Just boosts into the main. Scan is available. DT goes down. At the same time, here comes the main army. We have 4 Zealots to defend and 2 Dark Templar. Arcos are morphing in. Again, we have the Raven with the main army. Now we just push through. Now we just push on through. GG gets called, and Percival ties up the series. We are going to the ace match. GG. Whew. GG, well played. We are getting here into our next game, and we'll see how our players do adjust. We'll see what ByuN goes for this time. I was hoping for another like 4-gate setup. Going into DTs was a crazy move, didn't quite pay off in the end, but we'll see what the plan is as we load into Winter Madness. Much a larger map in the map pool this time. Larger map, longer rush distance by ground, more places to hide some cheese and hide some proxies. We're expecting cheese out of ByuN, but we'll see. He might surprise us with a standard opener. Might go for one. Show us what you got. Here we go. So we are loading into Winter Madness. Madness. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the orange Protoss player. We have the orange Protoss. We have the American Protoss being forced into the Tide series. Can he bring it back? Can he bring it home? It is ByuN. And spawn. Hold on, I got you. There we go. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the red Terran tying up the series. Momentum is on his side. It is Percival. Let's go. Let us go. We are jumping into the ace match here, the final game of the series. We have seen a little one-base play out of ByuN, but Percival over time is now getting accustomed to that, to the point where last game he was the aggressor, went for the proxy initially, was able to scout, was able to respond, was able to punish ByuN in the end. And we'll see how we adjust. Again, we'll see what kind of builds and what kind of openers we do delve into this time. Azrax is back at home. No proxy out of Percival. Proxy, likewise, I feel like there's going to be a lower chance that we see a 2-gate opener out of ByuN, but we shall see. We shall see. A pool page. We did see a 10 pool earlier in the broadcast. Did have a 10 pool. So now the SCV is moving out. And yeah, this time it's gate side. Sorry, once again, double gate opener. Okay, once again, the same opener here by ByuN. Percival, he will SCV scout. He will confirm the aggression from our Protoss player. He's going to be aware. Oh, he's going to be aware. Moves in, pulls away. CC on the high ground. Economic opener here by Percival. Bold move. Okay, does open up economically. Going to reactor, not tech lab. Not going for a marauder based opener either. Not this time. Likewise, ByuN moving out across the map. Yo, topping. Bienvenidos, bienvenidos. Buenos días. Buenas noches. Buenas noches. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. As the pro breaks in, and ByuN, he will confirm the CC. He gets eyes on the bunker and on the CC as well. He's fully aware that this is a very economic but also a safer variation out of Percival. Confirm no tech lab on the racks. And he may delay the bunker. He does try to. We'll pick off one SCV. Does get a worker, but takes a massive hull damage on the Stalker, and he has to get the hell out of here. Oof. Does pull away, killing a second worker. Bunker does complete, and Percival, he will hold. And we're committing to one base all in. Okay. 2 more gates being thrown down. Now, ByuN, he knows one thing. One thing he knows for certain. Percival, he will expand. He has a CC. He will move down to low ground, Percival, he will expose himself. So the hope here, I would imagine, is that ByuN, he wants to play it close to the chest. He wants to build up his stalkers, wait for Percival to move down to low ground, and then bam, strike that natural base and try to go for the kill. Now we do have a Cyclone behind this. No Marauders, true, but there are going to be Cyclones behind this and potentially a tank as well. ByuN, we're going to play it calm. We're going to let him expand. Let him expand. As we're still rallying. Adept of Shade. They'll see all the Marines. Oh, Shades into the main is going to be a dead Adept. Does confirm the Cyclone. And does confirm. Lock-on is brutal, and ByuN, he will... No! He pulls that too soon. Yeah, he pulls that too soon. He doesn't break the lock-on. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 Stalkers going down. Heavy losses for ByuN. He doesn't get the Cyclone either, and Percival, he's holding. He's holding on. Again, ByuN, he was just a little bit too premature with this assault, bearing in mind that Warp Gate is just now finishing. No, sorry, he doesn't even have Warp Gate. Warp Gateways, I should say. He got the upgrade, but he has no morphed in. So delayed reinforcements, that's already 3 Stalkers going down. Heavy losses here for ByuN. But Percival is moving out. And this will give ByuN an opportunity. He gets locked on though. Yeah, he does get locked on. A bit of a messy engage. Stalkers are coming from behind. Oh no! 1, 2, 2 more Stalkers go down. We can't afford these losses back. Oh my god, he gets a Cyclone. Just barely. Yeah, Cyclone goes down, medevac as well, but again, we're bleeding out so many Stalkers. We're coming in from behind. Can we get the tank? Yo, can we get that tank? Percival trying to siege. Pulling further in. Oh, another Stalker goes down. Once again, decent trades here by Percival. And behind this, Bunkers. Bunkers are being thrown down. He's getting ready to back up. He's just buying time. He knows that he will lose his army. Percival, he's just buying time. And behind this, he will have 1 tank. He'll have 1 tank. We have 3 bunkers. The boys can be pulled to repair. Again, ByuN, he lost 10 Stalkers in the process. So many Stalkers went down. And that makes this push even weaker. Does make it weaker. Now moving in, takes a massive tank shot to the face. Ooh, second tank shot as well. No repairs, but another tank shot. We're still within range. Oh my god, a 4th shot. Yeah, 4th shot goes off. Down to 6 Stalkers. The boys are being pulled, and ByuN is being cleaned up. He's being cleaned up here. He's losing far too much. I say that there are only 4 Marines left. Banshee moves in, extra DPS. And Stalkers are cleaned up. GG gets called. The all-in fails, and Percival, he will claim the series 2-1, advancing on to the semi-finals. GG. GG, well played, Percival. He will claim the series, but a massive shout out to ByuN for making a series out of this, so forcing the ace match. And again, I'll be honest, I can even see a world where he could have won this game as well. As we mentioned, ByuN, he just sustained too many losses throughout the course of the game, so he was unable to really snowball out of control, trade efficiently, catch the army, and then push towards the natural. Just split out far too much in the process. The attention, the control was a little bit lacking there for ByuN. But regardless, GG. GG, well played. I can see a world where he could have taken this game. But regardless, Percival, he will advance on into the semis, and he already has his opponents ready and waiting for him. It is going to be a ZVT between Percival and Solar. Let's go. Let's go. As you can see here, exclamation mark, be in the chat to have a look at the back yourselves. As we can see, we have Solar versus Percival in the lower semis. We have Nick Ranked waiting for the winner of ByuN and El Chanchito. So the upper matches are still ongoing. We have our lower bracket semis there. Let's go. We have the lower bracket. And the videos are underway. Just catching up with the chat. Just catching up. Go. So we may just go on a short break here, un momento, as we quickly confirm the format. I believe so. Beautiful. All right, so Vita's underway, so we're going to be going on a very short break. When we come back, we'll have our next series. We'll have Solar versus Percival. See you soon. See you soon. Bye. See you soon. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to the semifinals. The semifinals here of the PiGosaur Cup number 84 PTR edition. We have our first semis. We have our first best of 5. Bear that in mind. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg. It is Solar. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the red Terran. It is Percival. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Best of luck. Place your bets. Place your bets in the chat for who you think will claim the series best of luck. Coming into this matchup here, at least in the base game, I would say that this is pretty even here. Percival has been looking like a beast as of late, especially in TVZ. Solar has been struggling, especially in the last season of GSL. He got knocked out very, very early on. So we have seen quite a bit of tension between these two, as we have seen them go back and forth, even in the GSL qualifiers as well. We'll see. We'll see who comes out on top in the best of 5, especially in the PTR, right? That's another thing you have to bear in mind, is that X factor of the PTR itself. When it comes to the PTR, of course, we do have economy changes, we have some mid to late game changes as well, but I'll be honest, we have not yet experienced any mid to late game play of ZBT. At least I haven't experienced it yet during the PTR. That's where, you know, we have the Ghost changes, we have the Investor changes, for example. I would love to embrace a longer game, but for now, 2-Rack Reaper. It's going to be 2-Rack Reaper here out of Percival, hidden second racks as well, so a little bit more difficult to scout. Regardless, aggression from our Terran player, and we'll see if Solar can keep up early on. For now, hatch, gas, pull. Hatch, pull, gas. Hatch, pull, gas. Standard opener here out of Solar. We're going to be settling in, and oh, my apologies, not 2-Rack Reaper. No gas. I just assumed what was going on. No gases have been taken. It is going to be a 2-Rack opener here, but we are pumping out Vanilla Marines initially to deny the Overlord scouts. Okay. So the goal should be to hunt down the Overlord. Building up early Marines into a bunker rush. Yep, we're hiding the SCV. So this bunker rush ideally would punish a third, but we'll see if Solar does attempt to claim a third base. But now, yep, Marines are revealed. And one of the reasons why this Overlord is straight up just dead is because, if you're unaware, in the PTR, the Overlord is slower. The Overlord has been slowed. So because of that, will not get away, will not escape. It is a lot easier to kill the Overlord in the PTR. Much, much easier. So Scout is denied. SCV moves in. And do we set up a bunker? Gases are being taken back at home. SCV confirms there is no third hatchery. Lings, they skirt around the edge. Percival right through the center. I believe the Queens, they should be able to hold their own. It's only 5 Marines. Lings, they get across the map. But there are some reinforcements, and Percival, he defends. Yeah, he defends. The SCV can also tank. Army moves in. But again, I feel like the Queens, they should be fine. Yeah, the Queens, they deflect. Percival, ideally, this was designed to deny the third. Remember, not to break the natural, but if there was a hatchery on the way, we can get a bunker up and running, dive into the bunker, and try to shut it down. But the third base was delayed initially. So later third base, behind this was soldiers droning, Link speed on the way, pulling out of gas, just a standard follow-up here by Solar. Percival, he had a nice start catching out the Lings and catching out the Overlord, and ideally he did want a little bit more damage, though didn't quite find it. Not quite. As we're following this up with the 2-on-1, checking Solar's vision, I believe he didn't see the main, so he's not fully aware of what's going on. For all Solar knows, it could be a 3x follow-up, there could be a 4x follow-up as well. There could be a 3cc 2-on-1 or a regular 2-on-1. We can see it's going to be an early sim timing. Marines, they start to step in. Lings, they cannot engage, not on their own. He wants a Queen. It does want it, so the Queens are off from creep, but again, there are 3 Queens available. And Solar defends. Solar, he defends. First, we have to get the hell out of here, otherwise he will lose this army, and ideally you want to preserve this army and wait for Stim. Stim is halfway done. Oh no! Personally, he cannot make it back home. He shouldn't be able to. No, the move command. Yeah, brutal move command as well. He gets caught out. Massive catch here for Solar, and Percival, he gets punished for being overly aggressive. He does get punished. He was being cheeky, trying to catch some Queens. That is how many Marines going down? That is 9 Marines falling. Ay, ay, ay. Remember, this is supposed to be a 16 Marine push, and now we suddenly lose more than half of that. So this is going to be significantly weaker timing now at a Percival, and that might just be too many losses. That may have just cost him the opportunity to end the game. As now we do see Solar, he's working towards +1 carapace. That's a little bit cheaper here in the PTR. Gases are being taken, more Queens are amassing as well. This sim timing had the strength to maybe just straight up kill Solar, but now again significantly weaker. It still has a lot of potential, don't get me wrong, but just less than previously. Let's go. Let us go. See the chat, does Terran have to expand now? Percival, he's basically all in. He's going for a 3rd Rax, heavy delay on the 3rd base, so this is very committed by Percival. He has to find some damage here. He's moving out with 15 Marines. And if he fails to do damage here, then he's going to fall further and further behind. Now he still has potential. Remember, there are no Banelings, there's no +1 carapace, but there are a lot of Zerglings. Tries to stim in. Lings, they collapse. And with that, he's deflected. He is deflected here. Solar, he maintains his 3rd, claims the 4th base as well. Behind this, again, there is no follow-up. We're just building up the tanks. At least Percival did preserve most of the Marines this time. That is true. But things are looking dire for the Terran. Yeah, 2 more Raxes. 2 more Raxes, so we're just confirming the 2 base all in. The hope here that Percival has is that Solar's too greedy. If Solar drones up too hard and if he gets up to 4 base saturation, then Percival can kill. That's the hope. As Carapace will finish. Here comes the 2nd wave, the 2nd push. We'll see what kind of angle Percival can achieve here. See what he can achieve. Nice catch on Lings. Yeah, does get what, 3, 4, 5 Lings. Shaving off a couple of Zerglings. We do see Solar wrapping in and coming from behind. It does attempt the surround. Percival pushing further forward. Percival is somewhat ready for the surround here. He's trying to catch out he's trying to protect the flank. Trying to protect the flank here. Solar does not commit. That's a lot of Banelings though. There's just too much. Yeah, the supply here is just too high. Lings, they collapse in. They're coming from behind as well. They catch out both tanks. And with that Percival, he has nothing left. There's nothing left here. He has no momentum. He has no army. It's looking worse and worse for the Terran. And with that, we just keep pushing. We just overwhelm. We can move out across the map back at home. That we have like, well, one reinforcing tank. We have a Liberator, 2 Liberators even. And we can just keep going. And catching up the rest of the reinforcements. And from here, Solar will kick things off with a win. With a lead. With these reinforcing Marines, these Lings are going to be cleaned up. But remember, this entire time, Solar, he's got double the base count. 4 bases here for Solar, droning up further, getting up to 4 base saturation, taking up into Lingbane Hydra as well. So greater tech. Now he has anti-air for the Medivacs and for the Liberator as well. He's getting it all. Maybe it was mindset of the tanks? No. Just once again to re-emphasize what we mentioned previously, the reason why the push was as weak as it was because Percival, he lost 9 Marines before the push, right? That's what we try to emphasize. GG gets called, and Solar, he takes game number 1. GG. GG, well played, as Solar, he does claim a lead in the series. Again, when you're going for an all-in, every unit matters that much more. So it matters when you're to be as efficient as possible and to preserve your army and to build up towards that big timing attack. That was the purpose there of Percival. As we tried to mention, as we tried to emphasize, Percival, he was just too greedy early on, was overly aggressive, was punished for it, and that meant that the follow-up was that much weaker as a result of that. GG. GG, well played, and with that, we're going to be loading into game number 2. Going to be loading into Ruby Rock. Here we go. Here we go. Was there any tournaments, any Protoss in this tournament? Exclamation mark B in the chat to have a look at the back yourselves. Yo, Cian, baby. Obrigado, obrigado. Thank you so much. Fala galera, baby. Fala galera. Cian. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Had a great cast. I'm assuming you were casting. For those who are unaware, Cian, he is a Brazilian caster and does often cast a lot of amateur tournaments and up-and-coming tournaments as well, and even does some ladder streams. So, Cian. Gracias, gracias. Obrigado. Thank you so much. As we're getting into our next game and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg leading the series 1-0. It is Solar. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Terran player. The red Terran player himself, the South Korean Terran. It is Percival. Let's go. Let us go. So we're getting into game 2 here. Welcome to Ruby Rock. Ruby Rock is a smaller map, shorter rush distance by ground. Aggression is favored on a map like Ruby Rock, so we'll see how aggressive Percival plans on being here. Again, we typically expect aggression from the Terran player in TVZ, and it is going to be bolstered, stronger, beneficial, is going to be stronger and bolstered by the map itself. See, chat, don't know the names. If you're unfamiliar with the players, Strange, he is a very strong European Protoss player. He went all the way to the ace match against Nickrat. Strange did go down to the quarterfinals. Likewise, Bomioja also went down to the quarterfinals as well. Percival also went to the ace match. The other big one is, I want to say, did I see Geralt in the bracket? I could be crazy. Geralt, he was playing last night. No, not here tonight. So Strange and Bomioja were the 2 top Protoss players that made it to the quarterfinals earlier in the tournament. All right, that's it. I saw Geralt earlier, but he did forfeit in the first round. Unfortunate. Geralt, he would have been slated to go far as well amongst the Protoss players in the bracket. But looks like something came up and Geralt did not compete. Did not compete. Geralt. But otherwise, hatch pool opener here by Solar, going for a much later gas geyser. Interesting. Now, typically, if we're delaying our gases this heavily, the goal here is to play into roaches or 2-base layer. Either 2-base layer, 2-base roach, regardless, late 3rd expansion. This has been very trendy in the base game. And if you notice, if you have not been watching much ZVT, but it has now been much more common to delay your 3rd expansion. To stay on 2 bases even longer in Zerg versus Terran, especially in a map like this where your opponent is most likely going to be aggressive. Meanwhile, Percival going Marine first, no Reaper. Interesting. Does go Marine first straight into Reactor as well, so Percival is cutting corners. There's a bit of a give and take here. On the one hand, he's able to save gas, preserve gas, and preserve his resources. The downside though, no SCV Scout, no Reaper Scout. If Solo was going for some hyper aggressive, early Roach Horn timing, then Percival would be in trouble. But as we can see, Solar, he's playing very safe with a later Gas Geyser with a 2-base opener, so Percival, he isn't really losing anything for staying back at home. And behind this, it's going to be a much more efficient variation of either 2-on-1 or 3 racks. And there it is, 3 racks. Let's go. If you recall, we made reference to this build last game where Solar, based on his vision and scouting, he did not know if it was going to be a 2-on-1 or a 3 racks. This game, 3 racks, massive sim timing. This is going to hit very, very hard. And it all comes down to how much time will Solar have to react to the build. How much time to react? As Solo should be going for a safety Roach Horn regardless. We'll keep an eye on him to see if he goes into the lair or the Roach Horn. We'll keep an eye. They could also play any race. I would never assume that, like, I don't know, you wouldn't look at a bracket, see ByuN on the bracket and be like, oh, he must be playing Zerg. Like, what? What are you talking about? True. I saw Solar on the bracket. I think he also played Protoss. Cab. Played Protoss in the last round. So now we do have our 2-base Roach, which again, we did assume, we did kind of read 2-base Roach from the very beginning, from the delayed gases. So this is a very safe way to play, very safe way to open up. Carapace is on the way, 3rd base now being taken. And we're waiting for that stim timing. Stim is in production. 3rd CC out of Percival as well, so he's not all in. It's a very strong timing attack, don't get me wrong, but he is expanding behind this. Now, due to the Roach base opener, Solo, he should be fine. He should be fine here as long as he isn't too greedy. 6 Roaches are popping out alongside the Queens should be enough to defend and to deflect. Again, if Solo was playing standard and going into like Ling Queen, then he'd be in trouble. But Roach is a very safe unit, it's very robust. There's a reason why you often do see Roach-based openers and Roach-based play on smaller maps. Just to survive. Percival rotating out. Solo's in position. Solo, he's ready. And Percival, he scouts. He has to get the hell out of here. He pulls away, does start Marauder production immediately. Oh, and he does throw down the line of bunkers. Will they finish up in time? Because Solar, he's not droning, by the way. This wasn't just a safe opener, it's an all-in. It's going to be an all-in. Roaches, they rush across the map, they intercept, they catch out the Marines. Oh no! Yeah, they catch out the army, and they will clean everything up here. Heavy losses for Percival. And this reminds me of game number 1. Do you remember what happened in game 1 as to why everything went south for Percival? Remember, he was overly aggressive with those 9 Marines. Where he lost the Marines early on, that snowballed out of control. We're seeing it here as well, where we're bleeding out all the Marines early on, and that means that the assault at the natural is going to be easier for Solar. As every Marine falls, we rush across the map, the all-in has arrived, and Percival, yes, he's getting a line of bunkers. We have 4 bunkers on the way, 2 done, 2 more in production. But here come the Vials, here come the Ravagers. Yeah, denies one of the bunkers already. The all-in is here. And catching up all 3 depots. The boys are being pulled. Another bunker goes down. We're down to 1 bunker left. Show us the Vials. Oh my god. Yeah, massive Vials on the bunker. SCVs go down as well. And this is critical damage. So again, we're just running out of reinforcements, running out of Marines. More Vials are connecting. And so it's away the army. Bunker goes down. There's 1 bunker left. Una más, papi. Una más. And we're still rallying, we're still reinforcing. Ravagers are being bullied back. Nice focus firing out of Percival. He does focus down 2 of the Ravagers. But we're still trickling in and every SCV is falling. Ay, ay, ay. Down to 1 Marauder. Down to 0. 0 Marauders. Oh, so we're reinforcing with now 1. There's a salvage on the bunker just to get some resources. Percival down to 26 SCVs. Behind this, we're still not droning. We're just rallying across the map as we don't need to drone. GG gets called, and Solar takes a 2-0 lead in the series. GG. Whew. GG, well played. And this is the risk that you take when you go for no scouts. Winding it back, remember, why did Percival move out across the map? Remember, there was no SCV scout, there was no Reaper scout either. Percival, he had no idea what Solar was up to. In his mind, it could have been Link Queen, right? It could have been a standard Link Queen opener instead. Link Queen into Link Bane, into Lair Tech. Instead, Solar, he opened up with a later gas. He went for a delayed gas into 2-base play, into 2-base Roach, into 2-base Lair, into a 2-base all-in. But alas, Percival didn't know what was going on. He went for his own blind 3-rack stim move out and stim push across the map. He ran into a wall of roaches. That was game. That was game then and there. GG, well played. With that, we are getting into game number 3. That was essentially a build order win in favor of Solar. As both players were kind of blindly going into their builds. I should also emphasize as well, it's not like Solar scouted Percival and he was reacting with his own roach play. That was roaches from the beginning. Like he never scouted, he never got across the map with the Overlord, never got into the main base, just blind builds, hard counter. GG. GG, well played. And now we're getting into game number 3. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Mothership, we have the blue Zerg player, the blue Zerg player himself, leading the series 2-0. It is Solar. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Terran player, the South Korean Terran, down heavily in the series. Can he bounce back and make a series out of this? It is Percival. Let's go. Let's go. Would have been way closer if the army didn't get caught out for the Terran, for sure. But that's also why we emphasize that Percival, he was blindly moving out across the map. It's important to take note that he did skip the SCV scout in the beginning, and he skipped the Reaper scout as well, right? So no Reaper scout, no SCV scout, so he was just playing blind, and he didn't know that there was a massive amount of roaches waiting for him, and that's kind of when the game was decided then and there, when he got caught, of course, partially due to lack of scouting, a lack of awareness as to what Solar was up to. It was a calculated risk from Percival to go for that, but unfortunately, you know, when you gamba, sometimes you lose it all. And again, I would also say that Solar was also gambling as well, right? Like he was everyone was playing blind. But here we go. Here we go. For now, we're going to be opening up, once again, hatch first here by Solar. Welcome to Mothership. Mothership is a 3-player spawn map. We can spawn in bottom side, top right, and top left as well. So we do have our 3 spawn locations, and this time looks like a much more standard opener here by Percival, especially because of the map. We should be seeing a Reaper opener just to get some vision, just to find our opponent's location. We'll see if that's going to be the case. As so far, it's been a very fast series. Really short game 1, really short game 2. Once again, we have yet to really embrace the mid-game just due to the builds of choice. Game 1, if you recall, Percival, he did go for a 2-racks opener into a 2-base all-in. Game 3, it was a 3-racks into a 3rd CC, but again, was very dedicated, very committed, and he got punished for being active. So we've yet to embrace the mid-game, and hoping that changes here, but we'll see. For now, is going for the Reaper. So Percival, he's not moving out with an SCV scout, so he's still being a little bit greedy by skipping the worker scouts, but he's at least going for the Reaper to eventually find Solar. Eventually. As we are going to be saturating. I believe Solar went for a delayed gas, based on what I'm seeing here. I wasn't quite paying attention to the gas timing. Oh no, it looks relatively standard. Okay. Relatively standard. As Reaper moves in, Queens will pop out, and Solar should defend. Link speed is on the way. Solar, he pulls out a gas this time, so we're not staying in gas to go into a Roach Horn, to go into Lair Tech. 3rd base is being taken. This is the most standard build that we've seen this series so far to Solar. The standard build, hatch gas pull into Link speed into a 3rd base. Reaper does confirm. Oh, hello. As Percival, he goes for a 1-1-1. Okay, an aggressive follow-up here by Percival, delaying his third CC. So late third CC, commits into the 1-1-1, going into reactor to Hellion Banshee, and this is going to be quite committed. I was going to say this can lead into an all-in, and it can, but regardless, it's going to be very committed play here by Percival. We'll see what he can get done. So basically, Percival, he's sacrificing his economy in favor of faster Banshee production and faster army, faster aggression. If he fails to get damage done, then he will fall behind. There we go. His cloak is being researched. So I believe he has, yeah, he's aware. He's now aware of Percival's spawn location. Percival, he pokes in. Solar, he's still droning. Just now pulling into gas. And again, as I mentioned, when I mentioned that this is the most standard build and standard game that we've seen from Solar so far, should lead into Ling Queen, into Ling Bane, into Lair Tech. Likewise, I'm curious to see what the follow-up is going to be here for Percival. We should be seeing a third CC momentarily. If he throws down 2 more maxes, we can just go for a 2-base all-in, I suppose. But there it is. Yeah, there's that third CC. So Percival going for a very delayed expansion, and so far hasn't dealt any damage, but it's not over yet. Let's try to rotate in. 2, 3 drones going to be going down. Not a bad start. Getting 4, 5. Okay, 5 drone kills. Not bad. 5 drones at the natural. The Lings, they do hit the third CC. Army's in position. Decent trades here by Percival. Ideally, we do find a little bit more damage, and technically, hey, we're finding free Lings. Free Zerglings going to be going down as well. And this damage is making Percival's build worth it. Right now, he's able to catch up in the economy. He's still not done. Double Banshee here towards the third. Spore is ready. And we'll still get 1, 2 more workers. Not just 1. 2, 3 drones going down. Denying mining at the third base. Very nice. So far, that's 8 kills in total. Hellions, they go for the night. Oh, there are Lings. Yeah, there are Lings in position. Be careful. Let's get another worker kill in the main. Ooh, Banshee gets low. Yeah, one Banshee goes down. But I will say that the Banshee did pay for itself. Did pay for itself so far. Percival getting very adventurous. Calm down. Calm down, baby. Calm down. Ooh, what's rallied in? Yeah, Hellions are low. They have to back off. Behind this, Percival can now expand. And in total, that was 10. 10 drone kills as 17 Lings. A Spore Crawler went down as well. Oh, here, the Spore. Attempted Spore Crawler. So very nice value so far here by Percival. And behind this, going into ByuN. We got our 3s, going to be 5 rack setup. Third base is now floating over. So far, so good. Ooh, this is scary though. It's going to be not just Ling Bane, it's going to be Ling Bane into Muta play. Checking Percival's vision, he has still not yet confirmed. Percival, he hasn't gotten, I mean, he's somewhat aware of the gases, but only somewhat. This is scary. We bring this up all the time. Unscouted Mutas can win you the game in all matchups. Thankfully, Percival is applying pressure. He's moving out. We have Hellions on the right, main army on the left. Steaming in towards the natural. Bane's speed is not going to be a factor. Likewise, there's no Evo chambers, no upgrades. Can't roll in. Try to roll in. Mutas are revealed. Now he knows. And now he's fully aware the tanks are going to go down. Yeah, some rough pickups. That's a lot of Mutas. As Focus hanging out of Percival, he does get 2. Let's focus on 2 Mutalisks. But he has to pull away. Back at home, we're scrambling for a defense. No turrets yet. No turrets. Tank a little bit later siege. Banelings, they should be focused. Oh no! Oh my god, they do still zone away. Yeah, they zone. Marine's gonna be falling, and this might just be too much. Oof, a brutal baiting connection. Marines are overwhelmed. That's 6 SCV kills. But Percival holds. Ooh, Percival, he's holding on. He's holding on. But we're getting messy. We're getting messy. At this point, Percival, he's stuck at home. Solar now he can drone. Oh, losing another Mutalisk though. Losing another 2 Mutalisks. We've lost 6 Mutalisks so far. These are expensive losses here for Solar. But what is he achieving? He's at least containing. Behind this Solar, he's on 81 workers. He's reaching peak saturation with 86. 5 more drones on the way. So he has his economy up and running. Ideally, the Mutas, they buy more time. We can see that Percival, he knows that he just has to be active on the map. This is a very risky maneuver because we don't really have that much supply to work with. But Percival, he knows he has supply pressure. He knows he just cannot back up. We need to be active. Percival investing into Widow Mines, into Drilling Claws. So let's push towards a 4th. Does move in. Gets a queen. Does take down some creep at least. Keeping Solar contained. Double jump towards the natural. And Queen's a tank. First, we can get until the Baneling Nest. Not bad. Not a bad pickup. No more Banelings. Can we get the expansion as well? No, the Banelings. They crash in. And Solar holds. Solar, he's holding on. We have reinforcements trickling in. Widow Mines do reinforce as well. And that hatchery is very low. At the same time, Percival distracting him between the bases, keeping Solar busy. Oh, that was barely pull away in time. Oh my god, Banelings, they still connect. They craze the Marines. Oh god, they cash them all out. All the Marines fall, and Solar, he holds. Yeah, he's holding on. Now he can just overwhelm. That's mine shots. But Solar's maxed. He's maxed out. He is lacking extra Banelings due to the Baneling that's going down, but now it's been rebuilt. And Percival's just bled out a little bit too much here, trying to be aggressive. He's lost too much. And Solar can break free. He can break free. Decent mine shots. Mine shots are good. Percival counterattacks. Again, he wants that expansion. But we just commit. We just send it across the map. Yeah, Solar just keeps on pushing. Dragging the mine shots. Catching the reinforcements. At the same time, Percival going for a pseudo base trade. Will take down the 4th expansion at least. But he needs more than that. He needs more than just the 4th. Oof. And Banelings, they break down the front door. Mass Muta just came to the production. At the same time, we have plenty of Ling Bane back at home. Yeah, there's no mine. No mind to reinforce. Oh, the contamination. Contaminates the starports. And Solar just grabs it. Oh no, not paying attention. Percival gets caught out. The pants were down. The pants were down. Back. I wouldn't mind saying they do have potential here for sure, but just not enough. Not enough on the ground. And with that, Solar, he is done as he's broken the 3rd base. He's pushing in towards the natural. GG gets called, and Solar, he will claim the series 3-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Congratulations, Solar, he will claim the series. We did finally embrace the mid game here between Solar and Percival. Oh. As looks like we have our upper semis getting ready for us. Let's go. Let us go. We're setting up here with the upper semis, but GG well played against Solar. He will claim the series. He will claim the series. We're jumping into the upper semis. Quickly, when it comes to that game, when it comes to that series, again, we had a lot of aggression in game 1 and game 2. Here in game 3, we had a bit more of a back and forth. I will say that Percival did a great job at doing damage and gaining some momentum with his Hellion Banshee harassment, but unfortunately, he was not fully aware of the Muta play. He was not aware, and what did that lead to? That led into him losing his entire aggressive force as he tried to push out across the map by the mass Muta. So he was overwhelmed. In the end, we saw Percival somewhat stabilize and apply pressure and contain Solar, but Solar, his economy was still untouched, right? Even though he was being contained, he was still on 4 bases. He was still very fast to max out and eventually break out as well. GG, well played with that. We're now getting ready here for our next series, so I'm just setting up. Looks like we're jumping in mid-series into ByuN versus Nickrat. ByuN, he's up 1-0. He's up 1-0 here versus Nickrat. We're jumping in mid-series into our TVT. Let's go. Let us go. So we have all the castles coming in. Yo este Pacheca. I'm imagining that Enki's going to be joining us soon as well. Este Enki. But let's go. Let us go. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the blue Terran player. The blue Terran player himself representing Stouty Balls. It is Nickrat. Let us go. If you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Let's dive into our TVT. And again, we're jumping in mid-series. This is a rematch. If you were here last night, these two did play against each other in the Sparkling Tuna Cup, also in the semifinals, fun fact. So this is a repeat of last night, where ByuN did take the 2-0. Here, the format is a little bit different. These are best of 5 semis, not best of 3 semifinals. But Nickrat last night, he did try out some cheese. Went for some proxies, went for some 2-base play as well. Didn't quite work out though. We'll see how we adjust coming into this fresh series. Relatively fresh. Let's go. Just catching up. Let's go, Percy. You're my favorite train from Thomas. Don't let me down. Oh no. Oh no. That's a deep cut. That's what that is. Oh my god. Percy was a blue one who wasn't Thomas, right? God. Was he blue or was he green? He was the green. Oh my! He was the green one. I missed it, Pappy. God. I had to reach in for that one. It was green. Maybe that's why he lost. He had to be the green color. True. For now, we are going to be calming down, and we do have our initial double gas opener. Double gas opener, faster factory. A very safe build here by ByuN. Meanwhile, we have an economic build out of Nickrat going Rax Expand off of a single gas opener. So far, everything's looking standard. Safe play out of ByuN, greedy play out of Nickrat as we delve into the Old Republic. The Old Republic. Percival's getting, yeah. Screen. Apologies, I haven't seen Thomas' tank engine in a long time. Very, very long time. Like 20 years back. 20 years. Oh my god, as ByuN shoots first. Good shot. Good shot. ByuN shoots first. ByuN kills the first Reaper. Bearing in mind that Nickrat went for a greedier build, so ByuN would have more reinforcements. He had a reacted Reaper behind it. GG, well played. Smurge, Pappy, Smurge. As again, so winding it back a little bit here, often Terran players do not move out with their first Reaper. because of this reason, right? Moving out with your first Reaper is very, very risky. If you lose it, then you will lose momentum, then you will lose your economy, then you lose a big lead early on. So typically most Terran players keep their Reaper back at home as the risk is just too high. Here, Nickrak, he chose to move out. He chose to move out, he committed to a fight, did end up losing that fight, lost the first Reaper, GG. GG. And with that, we're now getting into game number 3. Going to be loading into Title Citadel. We're hoping for a back and forth, we're hoping we can get a little bit more out of our players here, but oh boy, let's go. Let's calm down. Let's load into Title Citadel. Hopefully Nickrak can shake that off and delve into our game. Oh boy. Let's go. Let us go. So we are loading into game 3 here. Going to be loading into Title Citadel. Vámonos, baby, vámonos. What does the tainted ground do for Zerg? So in StarCraft, you do require creep to be able to actually build units. Yeah, to be able to build units has to be on creep. I guess it's similar to Protoss, where for Protoss you need a power field, right? Pylons, they provide a power field around the pylon to allow buildings to be thrown down. But there are other benefits as well, like creep. They can do certain actions on queens can do certain actions on creep as aside from other units. I guess we'll get into that when it comes to the TVZ. But spawning in the upper left-hand corner of Title Citadel, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Shopify Rebellion, leading the series 2-0 as I quickly set up the in-game overlays. Bam, there we go. It is ByuN for Shopify. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have its opponent. We have the Blue Terran player representing Stony Balls. It is Nickrak. Let's go. Let us go. As Nickrat, he's setting up for not just one with 2 SCVs. 2 SCVs being sent out across the map, going for the proxy 2 max. Nickrat, he will commit across the map, and we'll see how safe ByuN plays here. For now, ByuN last game went for a double gas opener into a faster factory. We'll see if he plays it safe. We'll see if he plays it greedy here. We'll see how where the dice land. How do we open up? As the Raxes are coming. Nickrat, he did express his frustrations just before this game as well, so I think you can take that as like believing there's a higher chance, a higher chance that it's going to be aggression and cheese. So there we go. Second gas guys on the way. ByuN is going for a faster factory. ByuN is playing safe, and ByuN, he will have the tools to defend against the proxy 2 racks. So ByuN has the build order advantage over Nickrat. Not saying this is a build order win necessarily, there are still ways to play against this, but ByuN does have a significant lead with this, I should say. Basically, ByuN has to survive and minimize losses until he gets his Hellions up and running. It'll be on ByuN to react, to pull the boys, to protect his first Reaper. So just catching up in the YouTube chats. Anyway, to view the brackets, I will give you a link in the YouTube chats. I do apologize, but the YouTube chat doesn't have like commands, or it's like a little bit broken. So we don't have like a bot set up in the YouTube chat for command links. But I got you with the link. Yeah, so we go. The boys being pulled. As you mentioned, ByuN just has to survive with this first Reaper. Just survive, buy time for the Hellion. And so far, so good. Oh, yep, does catch up the second Reaper as well. Decent damage here on Nickrak's army. And ByuN is holding. Yeah, ByuN is holding on. And ByuN, he has lost nothing so far. Didn't lose a single SCV. And the Hellion is about to pop. Oh, ByuN got supply blocked. ByuN got supply blocked. He killed one of his own SCVs just to make another Reaper. Hellion is out. Splash damage on the Reapers here. And ByuN, he holds. He shuts this down. And this is getting brutal here for Nickrak. Now, thankfully, Nickrak didn't lose any Reapers. He's regenerating HP, he's building up his army, but now it's going to be much more difficult now that the Hellion has arrived. As ByuN now has splash damage. Going for the scan. Does get a couple of SCVs. 1, 2, 3 SCVs going to be going down. But bearing in mind that ByuN is still ahead economically, still up in workers. And now we can move out. Yeah, now we can break out. Has to be careful though. We'll lose one Hellion. And one Hellion falls, but there we go. He cleans up every single Reaper. 1, 2, 3, 4 Reapers falling. GG gets called, and ByuN, he will claim the series 3-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. ByuN, he will claim the series. As we were mentioning, it was just a really rough start for Nicaract. As ByuN did decide to play safe, he chose to go for the faster factory. So ByuN had that kind of build advantage where he would just have to buy time, defend, and get into his own Hellions. Nicaract was on a timer, and ByuN took it very seriously. With that, ByuN, he was playing very, very safe, I should say. Playing very, very safe. With that, ByuN, he was able to hold, defend, shut it down. GG. With that, we have our grand finals. It is going to be a best of 5 between ByuN and Solar. Let's go. It is going to be that best of 5. So just give us a moment to set up our brackets. Un momento, Pat. Just catching up. Units move faster. Zerk can only build buildings and creep. Creep tumors which spread the creep, provide map vision. Yes, yes. And on top of that, queens, they can only, or their speed is, of course, I mean, everyone's speed is impacted by creep. They can only transfuse on creep as well. True, true. So transfuse is limited by being on creep as well. There's a couple of other niche situations for that, or specific situations. But GG. GG will play. This is the finals. Yes, yes. Up next is going to be the grand finals. As you can see, bam. Oh, sorry. I can just show you. I can just show you the bracket, Pat. But here we go. GG well played with that. Here we go. As you can see, we have the grand finals. ByuN and Solar, they're with the top 2 seeds of the tournament. There are definitely players that could stop them from making it this far. Players like Strange, Nicaract, players like Geralt if he had shown up, players like Percival. There are definitely players that can threaten, but in the end, it is going to be ByuN and Solar facing off in a best of 5 finals. Vetoes are currently underway. They're currently underway. Just catching up with the chat. I don't know how to make the changes work. Maybe starting with a queen or letting their side defense move faster. I know that some people don't want Zergs to rely too heavily on queens. If you're curious about a change that's being proposed, it is to make the queen cheaper. I think it's to make the queen cheaper, but also to make it weaker as well, to make it more of a defensive unit and to provide more injects faster, I should say, or make it more accessible. Right now there's a discussion going on in YouTube chat talking about some of the changes in the PTR, and I think what's important is that it's been 6 days so far, and we've been having a lot of testing. You know, shout out to some of the other players out there, like, you know, your Lambos, your Thermals, your Hearthstones, Lambo as well, Lorimbo I should say. But a lot of them have been grinding quite a bit over these past couple of days, and and for the most part we've arrived at certain consensuses when it comes to like the pros and cons of like the early worker count. We're not really seeing it come into play too much here because it mainly impacts other matchups like ZVP, for example. I think ZVP is like the biggest one, just because of the defensive incentives that Protoss has, and also like the lack of early aggression due to larva limitations from Zerg players as well. But because of all the testing that's been happening, there has been a lot more discussion as to what to change, and not to change things back to the way they were, but to propose other changes and other things that can maybe shake things up in a better way. So I do appreciate that. Hopefully that these discussions bear fruit. That's my hope, at least. That whoever's, you know, in charge of looking after the classic team, basically the classic team over at Blizzard, I'm hoping that they're looking at this discussion, and that over the next couple of days, once maybe there's a bit more of a consensus as to what would be ideal or what changes would benefit the game more, that some of this gets added, updated, and actually is going to impact the PTR. I would hope, at least. I think the worst case scenario is that they just don't touch the PTR until the last minute, which is what happened last time, where they did change the PTR, they did change the updates, but they changed it and then just pushed the game live. They didn't change it and allow for more testing. So I'm hoping that they're willing to update the PTR and give us more time to keep testing. That is the hope, at least, and the best that we can do, of course, is to showcase as many PTR games as possible, to express that, of course, and hopefully for changes to be made. But here we go. Here we go. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg. Oh, we have the blue Zerg player himself. It is Solar. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Terran player, the red Terran player himself. We have the South Korean Terran for Shopify. It is ByuN. Oh, that's not correct. Hold on. Un momento. Sorry. So for those that are curious, we use an application called Casting Tool, and it pulls information from StarCraft for the intros. This should be better. There we go. If you're in the chats, it is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Let's go. As we head into our fresh best of 5. I just hope they don't push something live before it's ready. Yeah, for sure, for sure. I think that is a bit of a concern because that happened last time. So we're hoping that they provide more testing and that we are able to push together like a better patch for all, right? That is the hope. I think a lot of people are proposing the idea of the gateway changes staying as they are, except you don't punish the player for morphing in gateways into warp gates. So you take away the cost of creating a gateway, of morphing it into a warp gate, but you keep the increased build time on regular gateways. So then you punish a little bit less the idea of trying to go into warp gate, and you actually give players the chance and the opportunity to go for either one. So this will have increased production for regular gateways, but then the instant warp ins with the warp gates as well. And so then you can kind of like pick and choose how to play instead of like punishing and having that cost on the warp gate. I know that that's being like proposed or played around with, and there's like a bunch of other like propositions and a bunch of other changes that people are asking for, or pushing for, or asking to at least be tested. What are others that come to mind? Another one is the strength of robo units, which I fully understand as well. Based on what we have seen in tournaments, I would say that in PvZ, because gateway styles and gateway compositions have been weakened so much because of the change to the warp gate, it promotes more defensive play, and because that, like we've been seeing, or at least I'm theorizing that we're going to be seeing more robo heavy play instead, which is still a little bit weaker, and there's a lot to get into. There's a lot of changes. But now, though, it's a TVZ. It's a TVZ. I will say that Terran has changed the least so far in this patch. Obviously, there were some changes made that impact longer and later game, specifically in regards to ghosts. Like, obviously, there were some big ghost changes. Likewise, there were some big changes for Zerg late game as well when it comes to the Infestor. Unfortunately, we weren't really able to delve into that too much in the last series between Percival and Solar because the games are so fast. Hopefully, we can get into it here. Now, when it comes to the new Infestor, we did see it last night in the series versus Christianer. So we casted Young Yaka versus Christianer on the PTR, and what we did see was that there was these early Infestor timings with Microbial Shroud, which had potential, did not work, by the way. Christianer shut them down, but Young Yakov, he was playing around a lot with it. We'll see if Solar is tempted as well. When it comes to standard ZVT, we've been seeing a lot of Roach heavy play into Hive, into Ultra Infestor, and that should be stronger in this patch because of the fact that you don't need an upgrade to reach Microbial Shroud anymore, and because the Infestor has increased range as well. So getting into Infestor tech, getting to mid to late game, there should be like a stronger timing available for Solar if he does go Ultra Infestor. And that's kind of like one of the first things that comes to mind. Outside of that, though, we're getting into our openers. So far, 1-1-1 out of ByuN. Very committed play here by our Terran player, not going for a fast third CC. So delayed third base, we have more aggression instead. With this, we're actually not going for a Banshee. Interesting, going for a 1-1-1 into early Marine drop, and ByuN needs to find damage done with this. If you recall, we said something similar about Percival and Mothership, how because you're delaying your third base, you do need to find some damage. Percival was able to do so. We'll see if ByuN can do so as well. As ByuN does boost in towards the natural. So far, Solar, he is keeping up. Yeah, Lings, they do keep up. They force a pickup. Behind this, Hellions, they are zoned away. We have Liberty behind this as well, and at least ByuN hasn't lost anything yet, but so far the Queens are keeping up. The Queens do zone. And ByuN doesn't find much damage. Now, I will add a caveat to this, is that this third CC timing is faster than Percival's. Percival, because he went into Cloak Banshee, his third base was delayed even further. This one is a little bit faster. Still not like greedy or still not standard when it comes to the timing. It is still delayed, but not by too much. Not as much as Percival. Let's ByuN does poke in. When it comes to the other changes, I was alluding to it, but I didn't get into specificities or into specifics. That was the Ghost. The Ghost, of course, is a lot stronger and weaker in other senses. The Ghost now has increased supply, so they reverted the supply change, which means now you have less Ghosts in a maxed out army, which I would say is a good thing. But they've also increased the strength of the Snipe, where it can no longer be interrupted. Previously, there was some counterplay available between the Infestor and the Ghost. Now, Snipes, they will go off. But, of course, to kind of offset that, so the Ghost, now the Snipe does cost extra energy, so there are less Snipes available. There are less Snipes, but uninterruptible. And we'll see if we can get to that stage of the game. I'm hoping we do. I'm hoping we can embrace that. For now, we have Link Bane out of Solar. Lair is on the way. We'll see if Solar's tempted to go into Hive Tech or into Mutaplay. As Lings, they do hit the third. Not bad. Yeah, SCVs are exposed. Ooh, catching up 3 SCVs already. Getting a fourth. Not bad. Not a bad start here for Solar. At the same time, ByuN trying to be active. How many racks is he on? 5. Okay. So 5 rack setup. And Solo so far is building up. We have the tech of choice, not Aspire and not Infestation Bit. He's going for Hydras. Okay, so Lingbane Hydra, a very stock standard composition here from Solar. Nothing too crazy. This is kind of what we expect in modern ZVT. How about say poke in? Oh, Wind Wednesday will burrow. One of them gets shot down, the other will not connect. And Solar holds. Yeah, Solar, he's holding on, he's zoning back the army. Nice kiting here, very nice kiting out of ByuN. Not the focus firing. Oh no! Oh my god, does not get in the face. Barely not. And ByuN, he trades well. He trades well, he's still not done. He will reinforce, he's gonna keep pushing. Behind this, there aren't really many Banelings left over, but Baneling's speed is almost complete. Solar, he needs a little bit more time. A little bit more time here for Baneling speed. ByuN still stepping forward, we're 3 seconds away. Speed is done, and now Solar, he can keep it in. He can and he will. The mine shot. Oh my god. Brutal connection. The mine shot goes off. No splits, and with that Solar, he'll lose so many Banelings. ByuN, he escapes with most of his Marines. The Medevac barely gets out as well. Very efficient trades here by ByuN, and he's still not backing off. The aggression, the pressure just continues. As ByuN just keeps rallying, Solar's in trouble. Solar, he's in a lot of trouble here. Behind this, Infestation Bit's on the way. Getting a 5th base up and running as well. He's trying to at least. But Solar's been trading very poorly. ByuN sims in, he wants a 5th. He just trades against the Lings. Yeah, he trades well here. Ooh, does bleed out a couple of Marines. That was what, 3 Marines going down. ByuN still rallying. Behind this, 4th CC is on the way. Throwing down 3 more racks, getting up to 8. Getting up to an 8 rack setup. Solar, he still needs more time. He's getting there. ByuN does give him some breathing room. Solar baits out the mine shots. Tries to at least. ByuN paying attention. And baits out with the mines. ByuN, he has to pull away. And Solar has help. Whew, okay, Solar, he does hold on. He saved the expansion. Solar, he's up to 81 workers. Solar's about to max out. You can see the momentum shift now. Solar, he's built up his Hydra count. He's built up his Link Bane. Shows the mine shot, so. Oh my god. Ooh, yeah, mine shot's going off. Some of the Banelings do still connect. Yeah, they still connect. The Hydras are massing forward, and Solar, he's broken free, breaks down the fourth base, pushing into the third. And ByuN may not be able to hold here. He was so reliant on keeping Solar contained, but he's failed to contain. He's failed to do so with that Solar. He overwhelms, he busts into the mineral line. Breaks the SCVs. Plenty of Hydras left over, and Solar has done it. He has done it. He has broken ByuN. ByuN, he barely holds on. That's going to be 26 SCVs going down. ByuN does break the fifth, but it does not matter. Not like this, not anymore. As we get some messy trades here from Solar towards the end, but it's still a better trade for Solar. It's still worth it. As Solar has an economy, GG gets called, and Solar takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played again. ByuN, he was trading well. He was able to keep the pressure up until a certain point. I don't know if you noticed, there was a moment where ByuN had to back off. He gave Solar breathing room. Solar, he was able to build up his army. If you recall, Solar, he also was not losing any workers either. He was mainly trading his Ling Bane, and eventually he was able to secure his Hydra count, build up that backbone of the army, and then break out and snowball out of control with that. GG, well played. With that, Solar does take lead in the series, and now we're going to be spawning into or loading into a much smaller map. Up next, Ruby Rock. Now, the dynamic here should change. We're loading into a smaller map, a shorter rush distance by ground. This is where we're expecting more aggression out of ByuN. This is where we're expecting Roach play out of Solar. We saw Roaches against Percival, if you remember, in the semifinals. We're expecting it here as well, just because of the size of the map, just because of certain expectations that we have as well. But let's go. Let us go as we are loading into game number 2. Going to be loading into Ruby Rock. Really surprised Bane's traded out well after losing so many of them. I mean, for sure. But again, it's important that Solar, like, even though he wasn't mining from his 5th base, he was still on 81 workers. Like, he still had a solid economy behind it. ByuN was that much more committed. Did not break through. And here we go. We're getting into game number 2. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg. It is Solar. Leading the series 1-0. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have its opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. We go. As we are loading into game number 2 here. And again, we'll see how Solar does adjust his build. We're expecting a hatch pool opener into a delayed gas geyser, but eyes are on our Zerg player here. As he does open up with a 13 hatch. When it comes to like builds and like efficient builds and openers, like I'm still not familiar with like what's ideal and what's more viable. I feel like a lot of players are still kind of exploring that aspect and trying to figure out like where things can lead. Up now, hatch first. So as we mentioned, it's going to be hatch into pool into delayed gas. So again, this build, this opener does scream 2-base Roach. It typically means that the 3rd base is going to be delayed, that we're going to be staying on 2 bases that much longer, that link speed is going to be delayed as well, and we may go for an earlier lair. So 2-base play out of Solar, opening up gasless. Meanwhile, ByuN going for his own standard opener, opening up Reaper. So racks expand. Everything's looking normal. And ByuN should confirm the build of choice. Upon doing so, we'll see how ByuN reacts as well. We'll see if he tries to be aggressive or if he does respond in a more greedy fashion. Usually it's quite difficult to punish Roach heavy play. Like Roach play is typically just very safe. Does not scale too well into a longer game. But early on can be quite effective. Reaper moves out. ByuN, again, he's just checking with the 3rd base, and again, there is no 3rd, which is already a tell. ByuN moves in. Ooh, almost catching out a drone. Quick moves out of Solar. ByuN does disrupt the economy, does catch out one of the Zerglings. not bad. Once again, yep, confirms no third expansion. But now we can settle in. So we're expecting either a 1/1/1 Banshee opener or a 3CC 1/1/1. Banshee is going to be ideal here. Oh my, never mind. What are we? We are rushing Ghost. Okay. Okay, ByuN, I see you. I mean, that is a way to overwhelm a roach heavy opener, right? Like if there's what 3, 4, 5 roaches to defend, we come in and we just come in with some snipes. This can work. Okay. Now we're getting ahead of ourselves. Link speed is being researched, and ooh, okay. If you remember, we were theorizing it was either going to be 2-base Roach or 2-base Lair. 2-base Lair here out of Solar. Now, we can still coincide this with Roach Warren, and there it is. Roach Warren has been thrown down, but what does the faster Lair tell us? It tells us that we're going for an early Roach speed timing, and do you remember what Solar did against Percival on this very map? He went for a 2-base all-in. Solar, he got a 3rd base just for Larva. He just went and committed into a 2-base all-in. It's looking like the same build here out of Solar. But how will that compare against the Ghosts? Remember, Ghosts, they can snipe, baby. So far we have 1 Ghost out for ByuN. How do we like this build? With ByuN knowing it's 2-base play and most likely 2-base Roach, this still feels really risky. I mean, ByuN doesn't know that it's going to be a 2-base all-in. I mean, we're theorizing that. Yeah, Roach speed. As I mentioned, it's going to be a very fast Roach speed timing. There's going to be a point here where Solar's going to cut workers and make nothing but Roach Ling, and I don't know if ByuN can keep up with that. If Solar was expanding and playing macro out of this, then I favor ByuN, but because Solar isn't, then I'm on the fence. Here goes the snipe. His snipe goes off, goes to catch a queen. He gets 1, he's going to get the first Roach as well, and you can see the Roaches are trickling out. There's only a handful of Roaches out at a time, and ByuN does hit in time. Yeah, breaks through all the Roaches, and with that, ByuN has done it. ByuN has done it. I thought that ByuN was going to wait for extra Ghosts. He pulled this up with 1. It was 1 Ghost, Pappy. Breaks through the queen, busts into the mineral line, and with that, we have a series as drones getting roasted as we speak. We have more Roaches trickling in, but this is critical damage here. 18 drones go down. Ay, ay, ay. Second Ghost has a... You saw what we could do with 1. Now we have 2 Ghosts. The snipes. Ah. And with that, ByuN, he has done it. So 19 drone kills. GG gets called. And ByuN, he shuts down Solar before he gets into his Roach production. GG. Against Solar, he needed seconds. Imagine a world where, against that first push, he's able to get up to 4 or 5 Roaches. Then he most likely holds, but he only had 1 Roach at a time. They were coming out of the production, coming out of their eggs as we spoke, as the all-in was happening, as the push was coming. And in the end, ByuN did overwhelm, did camp the production. GG. GG, well played. Oh, hi, hi, hi. Oh my god. GG, well played here. As we got to get all the casters in here. Beautiful. As we're loading into game 3, loading into Title Citadel. Just catching up, man. Catching up. Putting the house on Solar. Oh no. As we're getting into our next game, as we're getting into game 3 and spawning in the top left-hand corner here of Title Citadel, we have the South Green Zerg player, we have the Blue Zerg being forced into the ace match. Can he bring it back? It is Solar. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Terran player. The red Terran player himself, representing Shelfire Rebellion. It is ByuN. Here we go. Here we go, as we are going to be opening up. And we'll see where ByuN takes us this time. Again, we had a fun, cheeky build, which was a reaction and a response to the roach-based opener of Solar. Bear that in mind. That was a reaction. We'll see if Solar goes into roaches again. We're loading into Taito. Taito is a larger map in the map pool, so there's a higher chance we play standard this time out of Solar, opening up with, you know, a third base with link speed. We'll see if that's the case. We'll see if he does play roaches again. Typically, roach play is expected on smaller maps, but this is a larger one. It is larger. Go. Likewise, CC first out of ByuN. Again, typically this is unwise and very risky to get away with, but as you mentioned, on a larger map, CC first is a little more common on maps like Taito Citadel, White Rabbit, Winter Madness, Celestial. So greedier build here by our Terran as we settle in. Once again though, Solar, this isn't the same opener as we saw last game, and not with all the extractor tricks, but once again, late gas out of Solar. Okay. So delayed gases. This gas is slightly faster than last game, but still delayed. So as a result, we're expecting a later third expansion, and we're expecting heavier 2-base play. This might just be a 2-base roach, but this time without as fast of a layer. We'll keep it on Solar. Nice run, nice Zerg. I miss the days of ByuN breaking into with Reaper Micro. Este ByuN. True, we're all old, Pappy, we're all old. Oh no. I mean, hey, as a reminder, you know, Blizzard Cup is later on this year. StarCraft returning to BlizzCon. Let's go, baby, let's go. It's been far. It's been too long. What the last StarCraft at BlizzCon was like what 2019, right? 2019, I want to say. It's been a very long time. For those who remember, originally, as we do catch the first Overlord, nice catch, first Overlord does go down, but originally StarCraft was going to be at BlizzCon, but then BlizzCon was cancelled due to COVID, right? In 2020, that's when BlizzCon went on a big hiatus, and when it did eventually come back, it did not have its esports anywhere near as supported as it once was. It's a long time. Solo does go for a later third base. We do see ByuN getting into his own 1-1-1 opener. And Solo pulls out of gas. He pulls out of gas. We're not going into roaches. No roaches. Not here. Not this time. Just taking a later third base, droning up, saturating. And instead it's going to be ByuN being the aggressor. Just like game one. Do you remember what happened in game one? Game one we saw the initial 1-1-1 into, it was Marine drop Hellion into Liberator if you recall. This time add-on swap into Reacted Hellion, Banshee. So much more committed this time by ByuN. This does put a lot more pressure on ByuN though to find damage. This means that he needs to kill workers, otherwise he will fall behind. So much more aggressive start out of our Terran. Hellions, they poke in, they pull away. As ByuN is doubling down, by the way, this is looking very similar to the game that we saw at Percival. What do I mean by that? No third TC, 2 more Raxes. He's going for a 3-1-1 follow-up here, so much more committed, much more aggressive here by ByuN. And remember, there's not going to be any roaches to help defend, so it's going to be a bit of a weaker defense here by Solar. We'll see if ByuN can pull this off. But this is becoming very committed here from our Terran. Banshee in the center. Still waiting for Cloak. Solar, we have no spores in position. Okay, first spore, sorry, relocating here at the third. Spores further out and now moving back in. Water getting up. First range is revealed, getting one drone so far. Gets one worker and does 5 more damage here. Again, no support the natural. 1, 2, 3, up to 4 drone kills. Can we get 5? We can. Oh, clutch transfuse. Does transfuse, hides a drone in the gas geyser. 4 drones is still good, but we still need more than that. Still need more damage. Catching a transferring worker. Then we got 5 drones going down. Overseer's now done. Banshees, they pull away. Banshees do pull away here. Solar going into a fast Spire. Okay, all the gases have been taken. Going into mutas. A very risky play here by Solar. Bearing in mind that ByuN still no expand, by the way. This is a 2-base all-in at this point. Straight up 2-base all-in. Here comes the ByuN move-out. And Solar's cutting corners. Remember, no Evo chambers, no upgrades. Baneling speed just now began. Solar, he prioritized the Spire over Baneling speed. He's prioritizing mutas. And that means that there's a big window of opportunity. There's a window of time here where ByuN can break Solar before muta tech. And Solar, has he been too greedy? Remember, Solar did not scout. Banshees, they distract. Queens, they all move in towards the main. And here comes ByuN. ByuN pushing towards the natural. He does them in. Moving into the mineral line. There are slow Banelings here trying to push forward, but they can be focused down. They can and they should. As ByuN does push forward. So far, he's been trading well. There are 6 Banelings. He gets 1, he gets 2. Only 2. In the end, the Banelings, they do hold on. The hatchery barely survives as well, and Sola is holding, and the mutas are coming out. Oof. We mentioned it earlier here, but again, there was a window where ByuN could try to punish Sola before the muta tech, but now mutas are soon to arrive, and ByuN, he needs more damage. Gets 1 mutalisk. We get some okay target firing. Does focus on some of the Banelings. ByuN, we got to keep pushing. Oh, Sola overextends. Big mistake. There's way 2 mutalisks. Throws 2 away. Down to 6. And 6 meters left. Denying some of the Banelings. The hatchery is going to go down. Does get 2 more Banelings. Very nice pickups. Nice target firing there out of ByuN. 2 Banelings left. Down to 1. Yeah, 1 Baneling remaining. Only 1 Baneling. There's no others morphing in. And ByuN may have just done it without Banelings. How do you defend against this? You don't. Oh no! 1 connects! Oh, ByuN! He takes the Baneling to the face, but it might not matter. GG takes to the face, still overwhelms, and ByuN, he will take a 2-1 lead in the series. Whew. GG, well played. Very tense towards the end there. Did miss target fire, did miss the Baneling, did connect, but still ByuN had enough to break through to overwhelm. Once again, reminder, ByuN was basically 2-base all in. He was hyper committed on 2 bases. Technically, he had a 3rd CC in production, but it was very, very late. So ByuN, he had to do damage. He had to do critical damage then and there to punish Solar, and he barely did. Barely did. It wasn't just ByuN's aggression, but it was also Solar being greedy. Remember, Solar, he chose to delay Baneling speed. He chose to delay his Evo chambers, laser and upgrades in favor of muta tech, and it was not worth it. In the end, it was not worth it. In the end, he was punished just barely. GG. GG, well played. ByuN is up 2-1, and remember, this is a best of 5. ByuN needs 1 more game to claim the series, otherwise Sola needs a game to tie things up and to force the ace match. As we are loading into Tourmaline. Ooh, a much smaller map. Much smaller map in the map pool. Shorter rush distance by grounds. We will get into it. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the Blue Zerg down in the series. That's a fight back here and now to force the ace match. It is Solar. God damn it. I gambled on that one. Hold on. And spawning in the right-hand corner, we have the red Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran leading the series 2-1. It is ByuN for Shopify. ByuN. He is a barcode on the PTR. You can see here his clan is ByuN. ByuN. barcode. But here we go. He is up 2-1. And we'll see if we can close it out here and now. We're welcome to Tourmaline. Tourmaline is a very small map of the map pool. A short rush distance by ground. Hyper aggression is favored here. Not just a short rush distance, but we have an open natural. We have a very open natural base. We have a very open third expansion. And we have a very direct and very short attack path across the map where there's no choke points. There's no like ramps, no points of elevation. The one thing you do have here is the tall grass, which we can use to get a first shot off as well. So you can use this to try to slow down the push. But otherwise, we've seen a lot of aggression, a lot of all-ins. What we're expecting here at a Solar is roach play. Remember, we saw roaches on Ruby Rock. We're expecting roaches here as well. Those are our expectations from Solar. We'll see if he meets them. We'll see if he does deviate and steer away from the meta. But now, hatch pool opener. We'll keep an eye on the gases. Last game, he did go for a later gas geyser, but not as late as game number 2, if you recall. On Solar. Behind this, ByuN opening up. Going for a standard opener. Racks expand. Gas are now being taken. This could still be Ling Bang. We'll see. We shall see. Once again, Solar took a big risk last game going to mutas. Big risk. Got some epic LAN parties. Oh, let's go. I do have some. I mean, I'm a little bit younger. I see a discussion about the good old days in the YouTube chats, talking about Brood War. I played a lot of Brood War. I had one Brood War LAN party as a kid, but I was too young to really be any good at Brood War. But it was fun. It was fun. Where if you know anything about Latin American StarCraft, StarCraft was huge in Peru, in Latin America. And I had my cousin and a bunch of friends like come together with like their laptops and stuff and play Brood War, which was great. I think we played an FFA. We played like four player FFAs. But again, I was quite young. Oh. Has our Reaper will contain. Hold on, where's my Google Lens? Where is it? Where is it, Patty? Where are my translations? What's being said? Okay, I see. So it looks like Solar hasn't read the patch notes. God damn it, Solar. God damn. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Hero, where Hero, I remember he played in the last patch, the patch that changed the storm, and the patch went live and we were playing and we reached the finals, and Hero, he tried to use storm and he noticed it. He was like, hey, is the patch live? And I'm like, yes, it's live. What are you talking about? It's the Hero. So Solar here, he was asking, he was like, what's going on? Like, why is the Overlord so slow? For those who are curious, the Overlord speed was reduced, so now it can be punished. It's easier to hunt down and harder to scout. So Solar, he was very confused as to the Overlord speed. Very confused. Este Solar. That's what that discussion was regarding to. Meanwhile, Lings, they tend to go for the counterattack. Behind this, the third base is very late. Very, very late expansion here for Solar, which is why I assumed it was going to be 2-base Roach, but no, it's going to be 2-base play. That is true into a very fast or into a faster lair timing. Gases are being taken. There's still a chance we go Roaches, but no, Baneling Nest instead. Are we going to try to go 2-base Meter again? Curious. Again, just a really fast lair compared to the third base timing. Eyes are on Solar. ByuN has just been applying pressure, delaying the third expansion. Behind this, going into his own 1-1-1 follow-up into Banshee play into a later third base. This is very similar to last game. Very, very similar. Oh my, as he's going into mech? Okay, similar to last game, but here we go. Factories get thrown down. We're going to be meching it up behind the third CC. ByuN. We have seen ByuN play mech before. This is not unheard of, but if you remember, the last time ByuN really played mech was during the Cyclone era of StarCraft, like a year ago. Like 2 patches ago, before they fixed the Cyclone, all the Terrans were playing mech, including ByuN as well. He was also embracing battle mech, but we haven't really seen ByuN embrace mech since then. Not too much. Okay. I'm going to be concerned for ByuN, as it is fast Spire into fast Lair. We spoke about the fast Lair into mutas. Spire is on the way, and we'll see if ByuN can keep up. Behind this, getting to battle mech, going to Macfield accelerators. Banshees they push in towards the natural. We'll see if ByuN can scout the Spire. Does he move further in? Does he scout? We're now threatening the queens. Gets 1 drone so far. Yeah, just the 1 drone, doesn't get further in. Now, ByuN, he is aware that the third base was very late, so he can assume the fast Lair timing, but again, in his mind, it could be 2 base Roach, it could be fast mutas. Technically, it could be 2 base Hydra as well. Not unheard of in the past couple of months from players like Shin and Solar as well. There is going to be anti-air in the form of Cyclones, but are there going to be enough Cyclones? That's my big concern. Is there enough anti-air? When playing ByuN, you naturally have a high Marine count. When playing Battle Mech, you naturally have a high Hellion count. Like, your Cyclone count is still building up. Without turrets, we'll see. So we go mutas, they do scroll down the edge of the map. We have 8 mutas moving in. ByuN's main army's in the center, and the bases are exposed. No turrets. Again, ByuN doesn't know. He does not know, so no turrets in position, no anti-air. ByuN moves out. Mutas are going to be moving in. And there's Lingbane waiting for ByuN. Yeah, Lingbane is waiting. Mutas, they go for the dive. ByuN, he races back home to defend. And Solo gets into the main. They bust into the main base. Catching out 3 SCVs, catching out 1 of the Banshees as well. Moves that falls down to the low ground. Oh, and the Wayward came to the production. Yeah, 8 SCV kills. The entire army just drags back home. Now we just get to head to the third. We head to the third base. 11 SCV kills 12. 12 SCVs going down. Solo pulls away. ByuN pushing forward. And Solo has a massive lead economically. He lost, what, 4? He lost 4 Mutalisks. Did make it out. And Solo's getting further ahead. ByuN needs to find some kind of damage here, but with all this Lingbane, ByuN just kind of pushed onto creep. How does he move in? Catching out 1, catching out 2 queens. Banelings, they do delay. They buy some time. At the same time, here come the mutas. They hit the third. Third base is forfeits. ByuN, he turns. Oh, he turned around for a moment. He cannot save it. He cannot save the third. The third is gone. ByuN pushing onto creep. But once again, though, he cannot push further in. He's stuck on the edge. He's stuck on the edge. He does quite well against the Banelings, but now mutas, they can turn back around. Yeah, we can turn back around. We collapse on these Cyclones. ByuN trying to get back home. Does avoid this around. But what is there to come back to? This we're down to 44 SCVs. We're down to a 2 base economy. There's not much left here for ByuN. He will attempt to chase this down. Force back. Oh, the solo music here for ByuN. As he commits, again the final fight for ByuN. The music collapse in. They're going for the Cyclones. And catching out 3 Cyclones already. Oof! Banelings, they smash into the Hellions. Down to 5 Cyclones, GG gets called, and Solar ties up the series. We are going to the ace match. GG. Whew. GG, well played. We're going to game 5 again. ByuN being a little bit cheeky here, going into mech of all things. Unfortunately, he was blindly going into mech against Solo, who's going into mutas. And as we were mentioning here, if ByuN was unaware, if this went unscouted, he would have no turrets in position. There is a world where you can try to play mech against mutas, but again, you need that forewarning ahead of time to set up turrets to protect your mineral line, to have a robust and defensive setup back at home. Alas, ByuN was lacking that information, was lacking that scouting. He did not know what was going on, so he was caught with his pants down. The pants were down. GG, well played. We're getting into the ace match, loading into game number 5. And it all ends here on Winter Madness. Winter Madness, man. We go and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Winter Madness. We have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg. Oh, we have the blue Zerg player himself tying up the series and forcing the ace match. It is Solar. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Terran player, the red Terran player himself. We have the South Korean Terran for Shopify. It is ByuN. Blizzard Cup question mark? Sorry, I kept calling it Blizzard Cup. The Classic Cup is what I meant to say. My apologies, my apologies. But here we go. We're settling into the ace match. Whipping out my Google Translate. What are we saying? You're saying go mech again. I dare you. Cap. Solo's asking, why is the Reaper coming out so fast, man? ByuN saying my workers are resting. Solo's saying, Zerg needs a rest too, man. Not like this. So here we go. I think specifically Solo's referring to the Reaper timing compared to his Lings and Queens, which is true. They are arriving slightly faster. So I was asking, so you're saying if I play versus Clem against the Reaper, I'm gonna lose three turns? No. So again, they're talking about the early Reaper timings. Feels Clem, Babby, feels Clem. ByuN saying even the Queen is gonna get caught. Ah. Smurge. First Reaper does move out. Behind this, Solar did go for a much earlier gas, much earlier pull. A delayed hatchery here out of Solar. Sorry, I was a little bit distracted trying to translate their text, but Solar's being crazy. What's going on? What the hell? So very early Queen. The Reaper breaks in. The Queen is already out. ByuN, I'm sure he's like, what? It's like, what's going on? Like, what just happened? Why is the Queen out? Yeah, that's what he's like, what? It's like, what are you doing? So I was like, I gotta protect my drones. I gotta. Yeah, they're just discussing the Queen timing. And with that solo, he does deflect. Now going for his third base. Droning, saturating. Getting to, I would imagine, link speed as we have 100 gas. Reaper still gets one Zergling. And we're doing it again. ByuN is having fun and going for the 1-1 setup into early academy into a ghost rush. If we weren't here earlier, ByuN did ghost rush the hell out of Solar earlier in the broadcast. If you recall, that was on Ruby Rock. That was on a smaller map though, and ByuN scattered 2-base Roach. So it was a different situation where ByuN was aware that roaches were coming. He did end up punishing that. Here, Solar did go for a delayed hatchery and a delayed expansion. His third base is at a decent time though, and he has no indication of going into roaches here. It is going to be Ling Queen early on. We'll see how this does pan out. Now, again, Hellions are built to shut down the Lings. Ghosts, they're built to snipe the Queens, and this can still over well. Oh boy. This ByuN is rallying, and we'll see if Solar can keep up. Now remember, when it comes to the big change that will be impacting this kind of game, that is the fact that Snipe can no longer be interrupted. So a Queen will die, straight up. There's no saving that Queen. The Snipe will pop off. Solar, he's getting up to soon to be 5 Queens. Yeah, he's got 5 Queens up. A handful of Lings. With a high Queen count, Solar, he may be able to hold on. Oh no, 1 Queen does get caught. That's a lot of DPS already down to half HP. Ghost coming in. What do we snipe? Ooh, yeah, does get one of the Queens. No transfuse, and he will get both. Yeah, 2 Queens go down. There's 2 Queens left. Only 2 Hellions. They kite back. Lings, they kill 1 Hellion. And so far, Solar, he's holding on. He's down to 2 Queens. Behind this, Stim has begun. Second Ghost is coming. He's coming back. And the second Ghost. Do we catch it? Oh, do we catch the Ghost? Oh no! Oh my god, the Lings, they get seen, they get caught. The Ghost hold its own. He does hold his own, but this will delay, right? The entire army comes back home. Solar's buying time. Behind this building are more Lings, and Solar survives. That's fine. They're very chatty in the finals. What are we saying? God damn, Solar, have we really not read the patch notes? Solar's like, why is the Ghost so weird? God damn it. So Solar, he didn't know about the Overlord change. I don't think he's aware of the Ghost change. For those that are curious, I did kind of simplify it a little bit. I did mention that the Snipe can't be interrupted, but the Ghost auto attack is stronger, right? The Ghost is stronger. Here come the Snipes. He gets 2 more Queens. 1 Queen barely survives. Lings, they take this around. They will catch out all the Hellions, so yeah, it does catch him out. And the Hellions are all going to be cleaned up here. And again, this just took too long to get going. And ByuN, he will lose everything. And Solar, he can just keep on pushing across the map. ByuN has nothing left. And Solar just drones. He drones, he saturates. But yeah, Solar, he was like, why is the Ghost so weird? And ByuN responded, was like, oh, it's better than I thought. But again, once momentum stopped going in favor of ByuN, once he was forced back home, I mean, that was the end. That was the end of the aggression. With that, some heavy losses there out of ByuN. Solar can now drone, expand, get his own 4th base up and running, double upgrades, double Evo chamber into Baliness as well. Solar, he doesn't even know what the hell he's playing. Like, he's... Next, he's going to be like, hey, why was my drone count so low early on? Like, what's going on? God damn it, Solar. Ay. Making it to the finals of PiGosaur Cup without reading the patch notes. Crazy, that'd be crazy. Este Solar. Problem is, he's just trolling. I mean, I'm pretty sure he was legitimately asking about the Overlord previously as well. And we have had situations with players winning these events without knowing any changes made. It's fine, it's fine. I should emphasize the big reason for this is because a lot of the top players at the moment are focusing on Maestros of the game. There is a big offline event happening in France. So I think Hero's been vocal about this as well, how right now they're just focusing and fixating on GSL and on Maestros, and then after that, then they can start to focus on the PTR. Remember, the GSL semifinals and finals are this weekend. They're this weekend. So the players involved in that are not touching the PTR at the moment, at least. So players like Maru, Hero, Kira. Yeah, so now Solar again, he's joining up to 83. He has got a heavy economy here. 83 workers, infestation missiles on the way, getting into his own Link main Hydra, into Hive Tech. ByuN is switching into mech? Wait, what? ByuN is going triple factory. He's going triple factory behind this with +1 vehicle weapons as well. Like, it's bio, don't get me wrong, but this is a big commitment into mass factory. It's typically at this stage of the game, you'd have double factory. You have double factory production, but here going into 3 is an interesting choice. Again, with vehicle weapons as well. Is it going into a heavy tank count? He's getting one more tech lab. Do we get another? The answer is yes. Okay, he's going into triple tank production. Ay, ay, ay. ByuN wants a turtle. It makes sense. He's behind, right? Like, ByuN, he did lose a little momentum. ByuN is behind this game. So the win condition here is just turtle up. You can see he's already setting up his wall. He's throwing down sensor towers, depots, CCs, triple tank production. Just hyper turtley play here by ByuN. And we'll see if he can slow the game down. That's his goal. To slow the game down. As Solo's maxed, right? Solo, he's maxed out. ByuN trying to distract, trying to buy time. Tank is building up, getting more CCs. Again, you can see he's trying to wall off. Getting more command centers. But is it too late? Here comes Solar. So also waiting for more banelings. Waiting for the banes. Oh. Ooh, and he's taking up. He's taking up here. Lurker Den is on the way. Vipers are amassing as well, getting into Hive upgrades. It looks like the game is going to slow down. Okay, let's go. The game is slowing down. ByuN is successfully just turtling up. He's got his tanks. Alright, so far so good. I mean, setting up our tanks. Ghost production has begun as well. Getting to our ghosts. And ByuN is stabilizing. He's maxing out, right? He's going to be able to max out. Do you have some borrowed infestors? Ooh, and this is going to be the first big challenge here for ByuN, getting and establishing a 5th CC. Here in Winter Madness, your 4-base setup is very secure. As you can see here, it is easier to set up and defend on 4 bases, but this 5th expansion is so exposed. You can attack from 3 different angles. It's on the low ground as well. It's exposed. It's further away from your other bases. It's isolated. That's a better way of putting it. So we'll see if ByuN can maintain this position. It's going to be up to Solo to knock it down. To deny this 5th base. Here he comes. Vipers, they move in. Do EMP. Here come the Lightning Clouds. Gets 1. Yeah, gets 1. Gets 2. Tanks do full. The base is denied. Solo does try to go up the ramp, but this is a bit of an overextension. Yeah, a bit of an overextension towards the end. Denying the 5th base is fine. Pushing up this ramp, it's a step too far. Step too far here. And because Solo lost so much supply doing so, that does give the opportunity for ByuN to expand. Overseer scouts the main. ByuN, ooh, morphing into planetary. That's a decision to make here. I was about to say that we have to choose between planetary or orbital. Orbital means you can lift, right? You can lift and you can safely avoid damage here from a melee-based army. Going to a planetary means that you have to commit. You have to commit to the fight. Yeah, there it is. Does start the orbital. I do think specifically for this expansion, an orbital is better. But we'll see. So he commits in. Yeah, it does commit in. Catching out one of the tanks. Just the one. A very nice defensive line here by ByuN. At the same time, Nidus into the main, but is denied. Yeah, it's a nice Nidus worm. Oh, what do we... What's Soul asking about this time? Oh, no. Ah. So Solar, he moved in and he was like, wait, what's going on? What, like, I can't abduct the tank? It looks like there's a bug. It looks like there is a bug where the tank still cannot be abducted. Ooh, nice catch here on the bungle though. He does catch out the player. Landing out on the tanks. And there's a heavy loss for ByuN, losing far too much bio here out in the open. But Solar, he was asking about the Viper and the abduction. He was asking about it. We're enjoying all the new cheese that the PTR is giving us. We did see a lot of all-ins this game, a lot of cheese, a lot of unique builds. I do recommend checking out ByuN versus Percival, where we saw a 1 base of 4 gates all-in with the new warp gate mechanic. So there's a lot of like early like warp gate cheeses that we've been seeing. Of course, we had the Ghost Rush earlier, if you recall. Here we go. We're being a little bit cavalier here with the Banelings. There's a lot of Banelings get thrown away. Does break down one of the tanks, and this is inefficient, but this is still worth it. Yeah, this is still worth it here. Solar, he does catch out 3 more tanks. Lurkers, they move in. And ByuN just can't expand. ByuN, he just cannot maintain this space. But this is even the case in the live version of the game as well. This 5th base is... Oh no, he doesn't live! But this 5th base is so difficult to defend. Period. PTR and live version. And ByuN can't. He just cannot expand behind this Solar, taking every other base on the map. Taking everything else over. Solar does collapse in. He rotates over. ByuN's out of position, and another base is going to go down. This time, the 4th expansion. There, the 4th base falls. ByuN just doesn't have the supply. He just cannot defend both locations at once. Goes to try to move in, but here comes the Link Vein. Oof. And catching out more ghosts. 23 SCV kills. And Soul should just keep this up. Just keep ramming his face here against these bases. We do have mass meals here at the 5th. Yeah, trying to maintain his army, trying to maintain the economy. Now, the moment that these bases stop going down, that's where I'm going to be concerned for Solar. Up until then, this is fine, right? For Solar to just trade his army out, to kill bases, kill the economy. The main army of ByuN still has potential, don't get me wrong. Things they move in. IOS catching out more of the ghosts. Solar pushing forward, and can he get into the mineral line? He trades with the tanks instead. Gets 3, 4, getting up to 5 tanks. 16 SCVs. Still worth it for Solar. Gets another tank towards the end. One more tank at the end. Can he kill the CC? Oh my god, he can! Barely does snipe. Again, ByuN just can't expand, but he's trying. He's trying as best he can. He just wants the 5th base. Or the Broodlords? You don't need Broodlords here. As I mentioned before, the moment that Solar stops killing these bases, the moment that ByuN actually has a Soul defense, that is where we need to transition into Broodlords. But unless that happens, like Solar, he's happy to just trade like this. To just keep just ramming into the 5th, ramming into the 4th base, resetting the tank count. Speaking of, blinding clouds on the tanks once again. I guess 3, 4, 5, 6 more tanks. Oh, heavy losses here for ByuN. 27 SCVs, kills all the tanks. And behind this, we do have some Spire upgrades. Greater Spire is done, so just in case, again, just in case, like, we can work towards Broods. Well, that's only when this stops working. Like, when this stops working, then we back off, but it's still working, pappy. It's still working. Like, once you get the ball rolling here with Lingbane Hydra, you just keep it going. The ball just keeps on rolling, and the Terran player can never fully stabilize, or they should never fully stabilize. Things they move into the mineral line, they catch out more SCVs. Oof. How many Vipers do we have? One. Just the one Viper. Does end up blinding out on 2 tanks. Hydra's able to lunge forward. Does take down 2 tanks. The Planetary does finish though. Okay. Stronger defense. This time ByuN does hold on. Got +2 on the way. Okay, now if ByuN can set up multiple CCs here and multiple planetaries, then we can secure ourselves. And then ByuN can start working towards this base. Remember, this base is still fresh. No mining whatsoever. Oh, the tanks though. As solo he commits. It's 1, 2 more tanks. Banelings, they head into the planetary. Planetary falls. Massive pickoff. And this time doesn't kill many SCVs, true. This time doesn't kill many workers. ByuN is mined out. So you can see here he's mined out of the 4th base. He's mined. Oh, he's still mining from the 3rd actually. Still mining. So ByuN is breaking free. Getting momentum, knocking down bases, not bad. Denies all these banelings. That's going to be 3 hatcheries going down. Now, the big concern here, these 3 bases that ByuN now has access to, they're pretty fresh. Like, this one is untouched. Top right and center right has been mined a little bit, but not too much. So these are bases that ByuN can now take himself. And Sol is in a bit of trouble here. I will say that the defensive setup here for ByuN is still very weak, so you can still get away with mass Lingbane Hydra, but there it is, the first wave of Broodlords are on the way. Technically, Broodlord Infestor is the ideal late game composition. You don't need it until your opponent starts to stabilize, but as you mentioned, ByuN, he is starting to stabilize. And these 3 bases can potentially belong to ByuN. Here come the CCs. This is now a dangerous moment for Solar, and thankfully Solar, he's aware of this. That's why he's making Broodlords, sorry, Corruptors. That's why he's making Infestors. He's now making that switch into Broodlord Infestor. ByuN's getting ready for it. Thor production has begun. Moving to Thors. Catching out with the tanks. ByuN, he's a little bit spread thin here. Got to be careful. Speaking of being spread thin though, Solo gets caught out. Yeah, Solo getting caught, bleeding out a lot of Hydras. Solo plummeting in supply. And ByuN is not getting out of hand. Like, ByuN's momentum here, it's getting pretty brutal. 10 Broods now on the way though. And Solo with that Broodlord switch. He's almost there. And that is where ByuN needs more Thors, more Ghosts, and ideally some Vikings as well. Like, ByuN still doesn't really have the most ideal army for Broodlords yet, but that's because he hasn't seen them. He's not aware. And all that ByuN has to do is deny these northern bases. Deny them so eventually he can take them himself, slowly one at a time. Broodlords are revealed. ByuN knows. He's aware. And remember, Fungals, they no longer cancel snipe. No longer cancel. Speaking of, ooh, snipes to punish. Catching out a couple of Broods that were 10, down to 6. 4 Broodlords go down. And down to 6 Broodlords. Solo's in trouble. These Broods are very low. Has to pull away. Solo does mine top right. And this is important. He's taking resources away from ByuN. This is important. as Solo should not have this base. ByuN, he does take notice. Gets a free Viper. Yeah, Viper goes down. ByuN will live well. Yeah, he will clean this up. Lings, they try to come in from behind. We land a fungal. No neural, I believe. Yeah, no neural available. So ByuN, he takes the fight. He overwhelms. He's pushing towards top right. At least against Solo did get some mining going on at least. Oh. And Broodlords, they distract. I mean, this base doesn't really matter, right? There's not really much mining. There's some gas. Just some gases. But ByuN is distracted. He doesn't deny top right. He reacts with all his ghosts. Yeah, all the ghosts turn back around. Then we're decisive. ByuN, what are we doing? What's the plan? Are we defending? Are we attacking? ByuN a little bit frazzled. But again, I do feel like ByuN should focus on top right. As we mentioned, this space doesn't really matter as much. And he will fixate here on this northern base. Ooh, Bailings, they do get in. 14 kills. 14 SCVs. Broodlords, they push in once again. ByuN, he reacts with the Vikings. Vikings do race back home. The base will fall. But again, this base was standing for a lot longer than it should have. So nice moves here by Solar. Again, just taking money, taking minerals away from ByuN. He steals all the money. Takes it away. Speaking of, even here, long distance mining as well. Every little bit does count. Meanwhile, the Vikings, they do catch out most of the broods. And 2 broodlords left. Down to 1. So nice trades there from ByuN. And what's also important as well is that the broodlord count is basically reset, and ByuN did not invest into too many Vikings. ByuN, he only has 3 Vikings remaining. Only 3. ByuN takes center right. There's no rush for this top right base for ByuN. He can just leave it empty for now. Like this center base is more important as a staging ground to push in. Yeah, Solar, he's punished. Solar once again long distance mining though. Again, really cheeky moves here by Solar. ByuN, he has to stop this. He doesn't know.
Is under attack.
It's like 1,000 gas here. Oh no, sorry, 1,000. Sorry, 600. Around 600 gas remaining in these 2 geysers. Tanks, some of them getting caught unsieged. Okay, better engage here from Solar, collapsing on the tanks. Does reset the tanker, getting on top of the Thors as well. It does catch up both Thors, but the Ghosts survive. The Ghosts hold their own. CC was killed. Ooh, the drones, they get spotted. He knows. Yeah, so ByuN, he does spot all those drones. They get caught out mid-transition, mid-rotation. They get caught transferring. And the Ghosts, they've done it. ByuN, he's done it, but even with the nerf Ghost. Activates Cloak, no detection. GG gets called. The Ghost overwhelm, and ByuN, he will claim the series 3-2, becoming this week's PiGosaur Cup champion. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Congratulations, ByuN, he will take it again. You did notice that the moment that ByuN secured that 5th base, and everything started turning on its head. We spoke about it, how as soon as that 5th base, as soon as you stop trading well with the Lingbane Hydra, you need to switch into those Broodlords as ByuN will start, or the Terran starts getting momentum. Bam, instantly from there, 3 bases went down, and suddenly ByuN had so many expansions to gain access to, and Solar, he lost control of that game. He did lose control, did end up switching into Broodlords, but we saw that he was shut down. It was only 10 Broodlords. It was still a Broodlord switch. But he wasn't able to really deal with the Ghosts here, especially with the Ghosts being able to snipe freely. The Ghosts, they held their own. They shut down the Broodlords. We had the switch into Vikings as well. Solar, he tried to switch back out of Broodlord into Lingbane Hydra instead, and it was just a very shaky kind of transition. GG, well played. He couldn't also stop the expansions. Again, once the 5th base got up, ByuN would not be stopped. ByuN, he could not be stopped. GG, well played. Congratulations here to ByuN for claiming the series. GG. Whew. GG, well played. And again, like impressive, tenacious play there by ByuN to be able to eventually claim that 5th base. I feel like a lesser player would have just died, right? A lesser player trying to get that 5th base would have just been broken then and there, but ByuN eventually got it. He eventually got that 5th. GG. Should he have been in Broodlords earlier? Kind of. I would have liked to have seen a second Spire earlier for double upgrades. If you remember, Sola, he had the one Greater Spire who's getting one upgrade at a time and only attack upgrades, so the upgrades were lacking when it came to the Broodlords. I would also say that the Broodlord transition could have been a little bit stronger. There were only 10. I feel like we could have gone for more broods there and a little bit less like Hydra tech instead. There were some infestors. It's hard to say what the dynamic looks like because even with a high broodlord count, I don't know if it would have worked as well, just because of the dynamic has changed fundamentally between the infestor and the ghost, right? Usually you fungal the ghost and you have that like dance between the ghost and the infestor. That doesn't exist in the PTR anymore. The ghosts, they don't have to be afraid of the infestors. Sure, they can be fungled, but they can still snipe regardless of the fungal. So like they can still stand the ground and pick off all the broodlords anyway. So it's a very different dynamic here, and I don't know the best kind of composition to build up in the PTR. I don't have enough experience with it. Like I haven't seen enough of this situation to know like, okay, if fungals are a little bit weaker now, do we need more Ling Bane? Do we go Ling Bane, Broodlord, Infestor, Lurker? Like, is it better to have Lurkers support the ground army as well? Is it better to have like supportive ultras? I mean, that's very gas intensive. Did have some Lurkers on bottom left, but I know against Protoss, for example, late game EVP, ideally you do have a combination of Broodlord and Lurker to support your air army against the ground composition. So maybe something like that is a little bit better. It's hard to say. Like personally, I haven't seen enough late game ZVT to fully understand what would be the best composition against a more heavy ghost style. Now with the new ghost, now with the changed infestor as well. Like I can't say with certainty. Let's get sniped. Yeah, for sure, for sure. GG. Soul can just kill ByuN with his swarms of change things. Cap, I bet cap. Whew. Aye, aye, aye. But yeah, with that GG well played. With that, we are going to be wrapping up here for the evening. Again, congratulations to ByuN, a very impressive comeback there from ByuN in game 5, and we'll see you guys later on tonight for the podcast. Quickly heading on over here to our schedule. Bam, as you can see, PiGosaur Cup is a weekly open tournament. This is our second PTR tournament that we have covered. Last night was Tuna Cup, this morning was PiGosaur Cup, this evening we're live with the podcast. There's a lot to discuss. Most likely we're going to be talking about the proposed new changes to the balance patch, to the PTR. What else is there to discuss? There's a lot to catch up on when it comes to tonight. We have, let's see, we have some news regarding Home Story Cup 29. We have Kalaris. He was in the Origins podcast. We might discuss that. We have some Ladder Heroes Gamer Richie talks. Same with Chad Urzo. Thermal, he had like a fun event. I think he wants to be a millionaire sort of thing. We had some news regarding DreamHack as well, and Zero Space, and all the tournaments, of course, and all the tournaments wrapping up. So we are going to be we're going to be heading off for the time being, and tonight we're going to be live with the podcast. Again, we do have a weekly podcast where we discuss all things StarCraft, and most likely there's a lot to talk about when it comes to the PTR and other news as well. Do our best. We'll do our best to cover as much as we can. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. When it comes to purely tournament broadcasting, tomorrow in less than 24 hours, we're live with Amanthus. Amanthus is StarCraft. That is a Brazilian-only tournament. We then have the Warrior TV Monday over the next 3 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. For those that are curious, we are currently behind when it comes to Warrior Monday coverage, and now with the PTR going live and the new patch on the horizon, we wanted to catch up on our backlog of tournament broadcasts. So we got to catch up with the Warriorcast. We have Kung Fu Cup on Friday, we have StarCraft Evolution League on Saturday, and we have the GSL semis and finals on Sunday. We're going to be crowning our Season 2 champion for GSL, potentially the final season of GSL this year, over the weekend. I should also emphasize as well that if you want to support GSL, you can do so via Patreon. There is a stretch goal to fund Season 3, but if the goal isn't reached, then we'll only have 2 seasons. Only 2 seasons this year. Hopefully we get a 3rd season, but depends on the support on Patreon. does depend. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys later on tonight for the podcast, or tomorrow for some Amantes de StarCraft. See you then. See you then. Until then, ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego.